Who do you think you are? You're tweeting out the F word on Easter morning? You'll be living in hell. Just watch. Praise be to Allah. Mocking the religion of Iran. Okay. If you seek a religious war, that's a good idea. But by the way, no decent person mocks other people's religions. You may have a problem with the theology. Presumably you do if it's not your religion, and you can explain what that is. But to mock other people's faith is to mock the idea of faith itself. And we should never mock that, because at its core is who do you think you are?
Tucker. What's up, everybody? How's it going? Damn it, what did I do here? Sorry, I'm having a bunch of technical difficulties tonight. I don't know what happened. Like, for some reason, Facebook says it's locked for only me. Why all of a sudden it did that? I don't know. I can't do anything. Won't let me change anything. Won't let me set anything different. I don't know. And then Kick, for whatever reason, decided to kick me out. And I had to re-sign in and go through all these steps to verify. Like, what? Like, I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's going on. Some kind of weird stuff. Who knows? Probably the Iranians fucking with us. I don't know. Catherine K, yay, Jim's on tonight. Great. Thanks for being here, Catherine K. It's awesome to see you. Delay is obvious. Is here. Explain to me how you make a deal with Death to America crowd. I don't know. I don't figure it out. None of your business. What's up? How's it going? Yeah, you're number one. What did you deserve that? You're always number one. Pam Graham says, Jim sure likes to mess with my sleep time. I prefer so I can watch later in bed. per later. Hey, Tom Bravo, awesome to see you. Another How to Dish Jim Tells You news channel. Should be a banger. It should be. It should be. Iowa Backyard Cams is here. What's up? Great to see you. Yeah, be sure to hit that like button. That's right. MJ5CS, what's up? Pound Sand, Tuck. It's Tucker the Tarded. Crazy Carlson. Yes, we got a lot of crazy people out there. A lot of crazy people. Before we jump into the first news story today, just let me say I want to thank everybody who's here. Please remember to hit the like button. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. I try to do these shows almost every night. I try. Yes, a lot of Durka going on, lucky number 7. As what we'd like to do is this show is about 2 hours long, two and a half hours, somewhere between 2.5 hours. So, but what we like to do also is there's a goal, how there is on every show. And the way the goal works is for every $100 in total that comes in, that's everything. Super chats, Rumble rants, becoming a member on YouTube or Rumble, gifting memberships on YouTube, Rumble. There's also links pinned in the chat for Cash App, PayPal, Coffee, Ko-Fi, along with something called Super Tips, where you can give money. And also, if memberships on Kick or Twitch, what we do is we add it all up. I do the math, so it's as close as I can get it. We add it all up, and when we hit 100, we add an extra hour to the show. And then as an added bonus, when we hit 100, or we hit 50, I'm sorry, we activate Bellavision for the evening. And as you can see, Bella's not in her seat tonight. She decided to go sit on the rug again. She took her toy. She went over there on the rug. Like, what's she doing all the way over there? That's crazy. Look at her. Just like, I don't know. But anyway, so yeah, when we hit 50, we activate Bellavision. But that's unless someone is so generous to donate a single individual. Once we hit 50, we activate Bellavision. Unless somebody is so generous that they donate a $25 or greater in an individual donation, that could be a $25 Cash App or PayPal or a Super Chat or Super Tip or Rumble Rant, or even 5 gifted memberships on YouTube or Rumble or Twitch or Kick, that would automatically, or Locals coins, that stuff, it all adds up. We hit 25, or when someone donates 25, we activate Bellavision for the evening. Wow. Durka to the chat. Pam Graham says, I guess there was an extension. If you know, you know. Yeah. I don't know. Before we get into that big news, let me do this. Let me look. There was a thing I wanted to play, a couple things I wanted to play off of the Twitter here. I'm having so many issues today. Which I thought was interesting.
That is supposedly that when we talk about ending weaponization, as if that's a bad thing for us to do. Okay, people in this room for 4 years, some of you, same people, sat here with the last administration when you saw a weaponization of this department, the likes of which had never been seen in history. And some of you are looking down now. And I get it, because you had a president who was indicted 4 times by this department. You had a president who along with this department had assistance. So this department helped 2 other local DAs go after the president. You had this department who stood idly by while states tried to keep President Trump off the ballot. Okay, that's what happened the past 4 years. And so when I'm asked questions or when I see reporting about shock and awe at this supposed weaponization of this Department of Justice, it means nothing to me, because it's completely false. What we're doing and what we've been doing for the past 14 months is changing this department. We're no longer, people say the president wants to go after his political enemies. No, the president has said time and time again that he wants justice. And if you look at what happened to him, his family, his administration, the agents that protected him, people that happened to just walk by him on a given day, they got subjected to massive investigations by this department. So I understand the question, and I understand the pretty constant role of the media that somehow this department is weaponizing itself, but it happens not to be true. We have tens of thousands of prosecutors all over this country putting bad guys in jail. Okay, that's something that wasn't happening like it should have been happening for the past 4 years. That's going to happen tomorrow, and it's going to happen in the coming days.
Hey, hit that like button, Pesky Citizens. Pesky Citizen Chris says, Resilience says hi. Gundam Zig says hello. And you have to wonder if he really is Muslim. You do. You have to wonder. You have to wonder. All right. Well, let's get right into the big news story of the evening. How about it, people? Huh? Let's get in there. Right into the big one. This is the big one. President Trump announces double-sided ceasefire. Somehow, I hope this isn't like a double-ended item that uses to screw two different people at the same time, if you know what I mean. They agree to suspend Iran bombing for 2 weeks. Iran accepts. Do they accept? I mean, has that been announced? Did someone come out and say they accepted it? I don't know. President Trump on Tuesday evening announced a double-sided ceasefire. A double-ended ceasefire. Ooh, that's strange. And agreed to suspend his planned military strikes on Iran after speaking with the Pakistani prime minister. So Pakistanis talked him out of it. Oil prices plunged below $100 a barrel after Trump's ceasefire announcement. That's right. It's already below $94 a barrel and dropping fast. Based on conversations with Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif and Field Marshal Asim Munir of Pakistanis, and wherein they requested that I hold off the destructive force being sent tonight to Iran and subject the Islamic Republic of Iran, agreeing to complete, immediate, and safe opening of the Strait of Hormuz, I agreed to suspend the bombing and attack on Iran for a period of 2 weeks. This will be a double-sided ceasefire. The name isn't great. No, it's not great. Double-ended. What? Double-sided what? Howard Becker Camp says, check PP for Bella. Hope it went through. Oh, okay. Let's see here. Oh, what do you know? Wow. Wugga wugga. Thank you so much. Wow, with that, we're going to activate the Bellavision for the evening for that $25 on PayPal. Thank you so much, Iowa Backyard Cams. Thank you so much. That's greatly appreciated. Now, with that, we'll adjust the banner, and now we are just 75 away from adding an extra hour to the show. Then Iran launched missiles at Israel. Is that double penetration? It's a double-double? Yeah, if it's true that Iran launched missiles at Israel, then I think it's off, right? Or is it just the Strait of Hormuz being opened? Like, I don't know. We're going to read more into this. Let me try to get Bella to go in her chair there. Let me see if I can get her to relocate to her spot. Just for, Oh, look, there's my nice computer. See it? Look at that thing. Ugh. Ugh. Bella. Come on, Bella. Come on, Bella. Come on. Come on. Come on, girl. Come on. Come on, let's go. Come on, let's go. Come on. No feet pics for you, Kevin. No, don't shock Bella. She's a righteous girl. I never would shock my Bella girl. No. I just had to tell her to go over there and throw her toy over there, and she went. The reason for doing this is that we already met and exceeded all military objectives, and when we were very far along with the definitive agreement concerning long-term peace with Iran and peace in the Middle East. So that's what they're saying. Yeah, let Russia and China bring ships in to bring new weapons. Great. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. Let's just, Zellian's got a post here. We'll pull that up in a second. Impossible to believe the ceasefire will ever occur or stay for 2 weeks as Iran claims Israel is bombing them and other news reports. I don't know, man. I mean, basically, I'll pull some of the stuff up off Twitter in a minute here. People claiming, Trump's chickened out. Trump always chickens out. Taco Tuesday. Trump always chickens out. So, I don't know. I don't have an answer for it. I just don't know. I just don't know. What about the nukes? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about the nukes. Seems like that might, that I kind of expected. Their comms are degraded and slow, coupled with decentralized command meant launches would happen. White House already made a statement. Hey, boohoo, what's up? Hi from Canada. Great to see you. Thanks for being here. Hey, Snarf, what's up? Awesome. I'll take you out back. Awesome. Thanks for being here. Taco Tuesday, after all. Yeah. The whole thing is a joke. I don't get it. I don't know. I mean, it seems to me like he kept pushing the deadline back and back further and further for some reason. I don't have an answer for it. I don't. We received a 10-point proposal from Iran, and I believe it's a workable basis on which to negotiate. But didn't they get this 10-point plan like a while ago and reject it, and now it's okay? Almost all the various points of past contention have been agreed to between the United States and Iran, but a 2-week period will allow the agreement to be finalized and consummated. You hate this backstabbing? I'm not backstabbing anybody. What are you talking about? On behalf of the United States of America, as president and also representing countries in the Middle East, it's an honor to have this long-term problem close to resolution. So he says, a complete, immediate, safe opening of the strait. I agree to suspend the bombing and attack of Iran for a period of 2 weeks. This will be a double-sided ceasefire. Double-sided ceasefire. Yes, double-sided ceasefire. The reason for doing so is already met and exceeded all military objectives. Almost all the various points of past contention have been agreed to between the United States and Iran. On behalf of the United States, as president, representing the country of the Middle East, it's an honor to have this long-term problem close to a resolution. Thank you for your attention to this matter. That's what Trump has to say. Iran has reportedly accepted the ceasefire announced by President Trump, according to the New York Times and Associated Press. In response to the brotherly request of Prime Minister Sharif in his tweet, and considering a request by the U.S. for a negotiated basis on its 15-point proposal, as well as an announcement by POTUS about the acceptance of our general framework of Iran's 10-point proposal as a basis for negotiations, I hereby declare on behalf of Iran's Supreme National Security Council, if the attacks against Iran are halted, our powerful armed forces will cease their defensive operations for a period of 2 weeks. Safe passage through the strait will be possible via coordination with Iran's armed forces and with due consideration of technical limitations. So what this sounds to me like, you're still got to get their permission. Probably got to pay them money. Like, what is going on here? I don't get it. I really don't. Lynn, what's up? I'm getting here late, Mr. Memo. No, you're fine. Quick, everybody, jump to conclusions. Yes, that's right. Who is sleeping with Iran? Who knows? Who knows? Trump respects human life. He can get what he wants without more unaliving. He will, should. Yeah. And the Dems calling people cowards. Yeah, I don't get it. Why would an aggressive independent country ever allow another country to dictate their governance? Do we really believe this? I don't know. All I know, and this is just my opinion, just from like life lessons in the world and seeing things, is the longer this drags out, the worse it is for Trump in the long run. The longer it drags out, the worse it is. The worse it is for our country as a whole. The worse it is for opportunity that there won't be a bloodbath come midterms in November. You need it to be over. You need it to be decisive, and you need it to be a win. I don't know. I mean, that's my own, That's my own, like, personal 30,000-foot view of it. Early Tuesday, President Trump said the whole civilization will die tonight. Yeah. And if Iran didn't agree to reopen the Strait of Hormuz, a whole civilization will die tonight, never to be brought back again. I don't want that to happen, but it probably will. However, now that we have complete and total regime change, where different, smarter, and less radical minds prevail, maybe something revolutionary, wonderful can happen. Who knows? We'll find out tonight. One of the most important moments in a long and complex history of the world. 47 years of extortion, corruption, and death will finally end. God bless the great people of Iran, President Trump said in his early morning Tuesday tweet. America First says, I am disappointed Iran isn't going back to the Stone Age. Dems and the mainstream media tied for biggest enemy. Hey, hello, everyone. Great to see you. Later Tuesday, Pakistani Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif asked President Trump to extend his deadline for 2 weeks. Diplomatic efforts for a peaceful settlement of the ongoing war in the Middle East are progressing steadily, strongly and powerfully, with the potential to lead to substantial results in the near future. To allow diplomacy to run its course, I earnestly request President Trump to extend the deadline for 2 weeks. Pakistan, in all sincerity, requests the Iranian brothers to open the Strait of Hormuz for a corresponding period of 2 weeks as a goodwill gesture. We also urge all warring parties to observe a ceasefire everywhere for 2 weeks to allow diplomacy to achieve conclusive termination of the war. It's in the interest of long-term peace and stability in the region. I mean, I guess. Late last month, President Trump threatened to obliterate Iran's power plants if they didn't fully open the Strait of Hormuz. Where did the uranium go? I don't know. What's weird, too, is Pakistan has a mutual defense pact with Saudi Arabia, where if somebody attacks Saudi Arabia, Pakistan's supposed to come to their aid with their nuclear weapons. So this is kind of weird. If Iran doesn't fully open without threat the Strait of Hormuz within 48 hours from this exact point in time, the United States of America will hit and obliterate their various power plants, starting with the biggest one first. Thank you for the attention to this matter. President Trump then extended the deadline, citing ongoing negotiations with Iran. President Trump's warning comes as Iran is only allowing certain ships, including oil tankers, to pass through the Strait of Hormuz. Iran closed the strait to all oil tankers and vessels except for a few approved ships. Oil spiked last month amid the closure and Iranian attacks on Qatar oil facility. 20% of the world's oil supply goes through the Strait of Hormuz. Pakistan, the country that allowed Osama bin Laden to live within its border for years without notifying the U.S. Yeah, it's strange, right? Very, very strange. Very, very strange.
You're listening to the Tony.
No, never mind. I didn't know this was some weird thing. Iran has agreed to open the Strait of Hormuz, and the United States and Israel will engage in a 2-week ceasefire. Hey, G Sharkman, great to see you. Thanks for being here. Are the Dems seriously gunning at Trump for that? Oh, yeah, he's being attacked, calling him, chickened out. And why is it okay that Pakistan has nukes? Can we trust them? No. They developed them in secret. President Trump said to Pakistani Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif and Field Marshal Rommel? What? Field Marshal Rommel? What's up with that? Helped him orchestrate the deal. Based on conversations with Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif and Field Marshal, I keep wanting to say Rommel, but it's Asim Manur. It's Asim Manur. Why is this guy's got an ass full of manure and he's the Field Marshal? Wow. Of Pakistanis. And wherein they requested that I hold off destructive force being sent tonight to Iran and subject to the Islamic Republic agreeing to complete immediate safe opening of the Strait of Hormuz, I agree to suspend the bombing and attack of Iran for a period of 2 weeks. That will be a double-sided ceasefire. The reason for doing so is already met and exceeded all military objectives. Well, if they say they've already met and exceeded all military objectives, you're kind of backing yourself into a corner there. And this is just my opinion. You don't say stuff like that because what happens if you have to attack them if they don't open the strait? Then what are you attacking? Yeah, I saw the pics you posted. I don't want Iran to go back to the Stone Age. I want them to go back to the times of prosperity under the Prince of Iran, Reza Pahlavi. Oh, sounds good. All things considered in this giant shit sandwich, events have allowed Trump to exit this untenable regime change debacle. North Korea has nukes also, trying to make a point. Well, is North Korea led by a death cult that wants everyone to die? I mean, that's the difference, I think, between Iran. President Trump said the U.S. received a 10-point proposal from Iran, and he said it represents a workable basis on which to negotiate. Almost all the various points of contention have been agreed to between the United States and Iran, but a 2-week period will allow agreement to be finalized and consummated. All right. A whole civilization will die. We saw this. President Trump says, if attacks against Iran are halted, our powerful armed forces will cease their defensive operations. That's from Iran. This is the thing. For a period of 2 weeks, safe passage through the strait will be possible via coordination with Iran's armed forces and with due consideration. So they're just going to try to shake people down. That's what I think. As the deadline approached, both the U.S. and Israel carried out strikes. The U.S. targeted Karg Island, and Israel struck 8 bridge segments that Israel Defense Force claimed have been used for transporting weapons and military equipment. Almost seems like Barnes fans are talkative tonight. Could be. Barnes just went live. They can go talk to him. Okay, it won't let me full screen this. What the fuck? All right, there's something going wrong here. It won't let me full screen this. Whatever. Karg Island is a coral outcrop off Iran's coast. Hey, Lurch Lingard, thank you so much for being here. What the F? Awesome seeing you. And it handles 90% of the country's crude exports. The strait is a key waterway for global oil trade. About 25% of world seaborne oil trade transits the strait. According to the International Energy Agency, 80% of it's destined for Asia. About 19% of the world's liquefied natural gas transits the strait as well. Bangladesh, India, and Pakistan import almost 2/3 of their LNG supplies via the Strait of Hormuz in 2025. Oh, yes. Barnes posted on Twitter, with no evidence, mind you, that J.D. Vance talked Trump out of the bombing. Oh, okay. See, that's the one thing I don't like is they can never admit that maybe they were wrong or anything. They just got to always change it to where they're still right. And this is why it proves them more right, even though there's no evidence to back any of it up. That's what I don't like. Oil prices fell sharply in late trading as Trump announced the ceasefire. West Texas Intermediate crude domestic benchmark fell more than 9% to around 102 a barrel. I saw it down 94, so I don't know what they're talking about. On early Tuesday, Iranian-backed Iraqi militia Katibi Hezbollah announced it released Shelley Kittleson, a 49-year-old American journalist who had been kidnapped in Baghdad. What is this?
Donald Trump recently outlined the end game for Iran. How does it end? There's 3 scenarios.
Why is it not letting me blow it up?
Donald Trump recently outlined the end game for Iran. How does it end? There's 3 scenarios.
Whatever.
There's
All right. Whatever. I don't know why this stuff is not working all of a sudden. The day Barnes ever admits he, Massey, or AJ are ever wrong will be. Yeah. Hey, Downtown D-Cat's here too. What's up? Great to see you. Lynn says, staying away from Barnes. He's been criticizing everything. It gets old. Yeah. The app is wanky. I'm having a lot of, it's the Dems. I'm having a lot of issues today with getting stuff to work. Like stuff is just not working the way it's supposed to. Nothing is working. So they agreed. It says Iran agreed to reopen the strait on Tuesday as Tehran and the U.S. reached a 2-week ceasefire. We saw this. Global cost of oil plummeted. The price of Brent crude, the international benchmark, nosedived 14% in the hour after Trump's announcement. Oh, look at this. And then we got this. It says, Iran state media painted the announcement as proof Iran forced Trump into an agreement. U.S. President Trump has once again retreated from his own threats, stating, I agree to halt the bombings and attacks for a period of 2 weeks, and this will be a mutual ceasefire. The U.S. and Iran are weighing in-person talks to finalize a peace deal. That's not a good idea to start talking shit. It's not a good idea to start talking shit, Iran. Iran wants 2 big concessions as part of the 10-point plan, including the removal of all sanctions placed on the country going back to George W. Bush and control of the valuable Strait of Hormuz. Yeah, Iran wants to be able to charge tolls on the Strait of Hormuz. Like, what the fuck is going on here? Seriously. An Iranian publication backed by Iran's Supreme Council listed the other points that Trump would likely agree to, including acceptance that Iran can enrich uranium for its nuclear program and payments to Iran for war damage and withdrawal of U.S. troops from the region. Like, I don't know. I mean, we're going to have to wait and see. But if they agree to allowing them to enrich any uranium, kind of seems like this was all a waste of time. Because basically, if you let them enrich uranium now, they're going to make a bomb now because that's the only thing that keep them from getting attacked again. You can't let them charge a toll to go through international waterway. What? Dems are going to sink the world for spite that China is cyber bombing us? Probably. It's probably what it is. Hey, Half Irish, great to see you here. One thing has become clear over the last 72 hours that Iran was not as beaten down as Trump has been led to believe by the Defense Department, the official said. What official said this? Wait, what? I think the shoot down on F-13 last week was a sober reminder that Iran still has a very dangerous adversary. Is it still a very dangerous adversary? That's the same plan that was rejected before. That's what I thought. That's the same plan that was rejected before. So I'm like, say what? What's going on here? Say what? Say what now? Say what now? I don't get it. I do not get it. I don't get it at all. We are in dire straits. Trump back down, Jim. So I don't know. It kind of seems that way. If you were in a target date fund and the fund manager moves stocks in your portfolio to bonds that you have reached another birth date, this war could cause great harm. Stocks down hard, no recovery. Yeah. Israel, which launched the attack alongside the U.S. in February, has been accomplished its own goal of fundamental regime change and may need to be pressured by Trump to hold fire. Both sides can claim a win on this. The Iranians can say they demonstrated the ability to effectively close the strait, and we can say the strait, if the Iranians don't decide to keep attacking ships, is open. I don't believe it for no minute. It's fake. Hey, American Dreamer for 10. Jim Belichick, thank you so much. So awesome. Wow, thank you so much. That means we are now just $65 away from adding an additional hour to the show. It could be the first additional hour of many, or it could just be one additional hour. Not enough people on our side. Yes, thank you. The agreement came shortly before Trump's self-imposed deadline of 8 p.m. And the U.S. demanded Iran restore shipping through the narrow waterway that carries roughly 20% of the world's oil supply. A whole civilization will die. We saw that. We will find out tonight. Okay. All right. And we got this story, says Iran launches missiles at Israel minutes after Trump announces ceasefire. Yeah, the regime change hasn't happened. The IRGC is still in control. Yes, it is. What do you make, America First, what do you make of the story that we gave a bunch of guns and ammo and stuff to the Kurds that were supposed to smuggle them into the resistance fighters or people that wanted to topple the government in Iran, and that the Kurds stole them? You think there's any credence to that story? You think that happened? I mean, I think it's possible the Kurds might have been like, hey, we don't, why are we going to do this when they're just going to abandon us later and they're going to screw us over? Why don't we just keep the guns? That way we have more chance to protect ourselves after we get fucked over by the people that kept telling us they were going to help us starting 30 years ago.
Tel Aviv with the latest. More missiles, at least one more missile is inbound. We saw a missile. Mike Tobin's live in Tel Aviv with the latest. Mike. Well, Jesse, as soon as we got the ceasefire, we got a bunch of missile fire. It wasn't 5 minutes from the Truth Social post to the point where the phone started alerting that missiles had launched from Iran. The first of the missiles was intercepted, and the shrapnel landed outside of Jerusalem, not causing any problems. What we saw here in Tel Aviv were these cluster bombs, like you see on your screen right now. They break up and look a bit like a 4th of July firework, and usually has one bright point that comes streaking down to earth. But the bomblets themselves, they shine bright when they first break up, then they get dark as they cool off, and then they explode when they hit the ground. And it looks like I'm getting an alert for one more missile. So I'm counting 6 missiles to this point. And it looks like we're one more, so we'll go up to 7 as the phone is telling me that more missiles, at least one more missile is inbound. We saw a missile to the south of the country.
Look at the size of this guy's neck. I mean, look at his neck. Like, that is like, it's huge. Like, he is fucking, this guy is yoked, man. Look at him. Like, his neck is bigger than his head. Like, literally. Wow, he's yoked.
Meaning that the Houthis got in the act and fired a missile in that direction. But what I understand is that missile failed in flight. Now, as far as the ceasefire agreement itself, what we're hearing from Israeli officials is that they wanted to see more objectives achieved in this war before there was a ceasefire. They're not particularly pleased with the proposals from the Iranians in this 10-point proposal, but they say they will abide by the ceasefire, and it is President Trump's decision to make. We did just get another alert for an inbound missile on the phone. It could be as long as 10 minutes. When you get those alerts, they come right at the launch, and that missile has to carry all the way from western Iran and get here. So there is a hot minute, and it takes a little while. People have a chance to get to the Mamad or bomb shelters. In about 5 to 10 minutes time, I anticipate that we'll start hearing the sirens. Let me check real quick. Can you see if this one is coming into this area?
Yeah, north and south as well.
It looks like it's coming into this area, and there's also some indications that the alerts are going to the north and the south of the country. And
Wow. No, stop. Stop. Get out of here, fucking ad. Iran launched missile strikes on Israel within minutes of President Trump's announcement of the 2-week pause on the strikes against Iran. So that's not really a good thing. I mean, that neck borders on deformity. It's huge, right? I mean, that's that guy, like, I don't think you wouldn't be able to strangle him. Like, you couldn't choke him out, I don't think. Julio's here. What's up, Julio? So awesome to see you, buddy. Long time no see. He is jacked. He's a thumbhead. Total neck maxing. Ivy says that Trump is really risking people's ire on a lot of fronts over these military endeavors. Not good for elections. It's not good for elections if it seems like it was all for nothing. I mean, that's something I'll say. If it goes right back to the way it was before, what was the whole point? Just saying. I don't know. You used to watch him report, and he never looked like that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's been working out. I mean, he's in Israel, so maybe he's getting some really good supplements. I hear they have really good supplements in Israel, like HGH and stuff you can get there. No backbone for this modern crew. Neck implants. I don't know about neck implants. I'm just saying. Neck implants are the new ass implants. Oh, God. Oh, man. Am I going to have to do a deep dive on this? Hamburger Helper says a blood choke can take down anyone. Well, maybe. He says, Jim, it had no chance. That's why I was against it from the beginning. He's got neck tox. Yes. The weather here has me jacked up. Okay. Trump announced on Tuesday night that he had agreed to a request from Pakistanis to extend the Iran deadline by 2 weeks, claiming he would pause attacks on the country during that period. Though the Israeli government has not officially issued a statement, multiple outlets have reported confirmation from sources that the country has agreed to take part in the ceasefire. Well, if they don't take part in the ceasefire, then I think that means our paths have diverged. Despite these tenuous steps towards a cessation of hostilities, air raid sirens went off multiple times in Israel after Trump's announcement. Fox News reporter Mike the Thumb Tobin, wow, that's his name, Mike the Thumb, Maybe he has a thyroid issue. Maybe. Nothing has changed. They're going to keep doing the same stuff of yelling, do as we say, or we'll shut down the strait. They'll keep funding the same people. They'll keep yelling death to the U.S. Just get to the nukes. Yeah. So he told Jesse Waters that the alerts incoming start occurred within minutes of Trump's Truth Social post. Can you say running out the clock? That's what it sounds like to me. It really does. Like why did he go on? Why did he go out and publicly make these statements if you weren't going to follow through? Is what I would say. I don't know. Like whatever happened to speak softly and carry a big stick? That's what we need these days. Is that good? Is that good? Is what good? 60 days are close to those 2 weeks. Yeah, it is. It really is. He might have backed himself into a corner. Although technically, though, Joe, would because there's a ceasefire right now, doesn't that mean the clock restarts if hostilities start again? No? I would think so. As soon as we got a ceasefire, we got a bunch of missile fires. Wasn't 5 minutes from the Truth Social post. The first of the missiles was intercepted, and the shrapnel landed outside of Jerusalem, not causing any problems. Joe says Trump is incapable of speaking softly. Nope, you don't think so? As Tobin continued to describe the cluster bombs that just exploded over Tel Aviv, he was interrupted by additional alerts signaling yet another strike. What we saw here in Tel Aviv were these cluster bombs, and you see right now on your screen that Bella is scratching. She is alive. She is alive. Maybe he couldn't do it with all the civilians out on the bridges. Was there actually people out on the bridges? Did they actually go out and do the ring of the ring of martyrs around the bridges and stuff? Did they do that? Congress must approve it. Rant posted. Okay. All right. Let's see here. This says, Jim, thank you for the $2. This says, this is a hit piece, Jim. Trump will not allow money for passage, no reparations. He would most likely lift sanctions so they could sell oil globally. In return, out of the deal, Trump knows what he's doing. I mean, the bottom line is they can't be allowed. They can't be allowed to get nuclear weapons. They can't be allowed to enrich uranium. I mean, something has to happen with that. If that goes right back to the way it was, and this was all a big waste. Mike Tobin has a bigger neck than Bella. Oh, I think so. But will Barnes retract his rant from yesterday? No, he won't. He'll double down. He doubled down today. He posted something about J.D. Vance, tricked or talked Trump out of it. This is what happens when you talk a bit too much, and now he's going to look bad. It's possible. It is possible. Yeah, ring of 30 people. They all left after a half an hour. 5D chess? Nope. Yes, but not many. Terry, that was it? About the people, maybe? Mm-hmm. Thank you so much. Oh, I forgot to adjust this to $63 away from adding an hour to the show. Thank you so much. Mm-hmm. Barnes is grifting. It seems like it. What we saw in Tel Aviv were these cluster bombs like you see on your screen right now. They break up. They look a bit like the 4th of July. We listened to him say all this. We don't need to pay this. So there's that. You watched the video about it? Okay. They have the uranium. Yeah, they do. Who has the uranium? The U.S. or Iran? And now we're going to get to some news that was like the breaking news of stuff that just happened right before I went live. So now we're going to get to some older news. Oh, look at this. It says, put this towards a bone for Bello from Uncle Julio. Well, thank you, Julio. Thank you so much. That 10 means we're now just $53 away. Just $53 away from adding a first extra hour to the show. Thank you so much. Iran has it still. I just checked. The last Israeli alert was cleared before 2030. No attack since. Almost like I might have been correct. Yeah. Well, I mean, because, they're going to 2038. I mean, you got to give it, like, they usually have like an hour or a couple hours or something like that, a few hours where they say, okay, if anything happens within this time, we're just going to write it off as, the word didn't get back to where it needed to be. Will the conversation switch back to Epstein? You know what? Probably. That's probably where they're going to go with it. So the U.S. unleashes precision strikes on Iran's critical Karg Island. Iran, Jim. Oh, okay. Iran has it. The United States launched a series of targeted military strikes Tuesday on Iran's highly strategic Karg Island, sending a clear message to the Iran regime as President Trump's hard deadline rapidly approaches. U.S. forces hit military targets on the island in the early morning operations, carefully avoiding direct damage to Iran's oil export infrastructure, at least for now. Karg Island is no ordinary target. It serves as the backbone of Iran's economy. Hey, what's up? Just Don Solis Ginger. So great to see you. Oh, no, your mustard's in the fridge at this very moment. According to the New York Post, U.S. officials emphasized the strikes were focused on military installations, including air defenses and storage facilities, not energy production itself. Let's see. Okay, there's some smoke. Roughly 50 strikes were carried out on military targets on the oil-critical stronghold, according to the New York Post. Karg Island, which is one of the one-third the size of Manhattan and located in the Persian Gulf, controls 90% of Iranian crude oil exports. The mission includes airstrikes along the northern side of the island, hitting military bunkers and storage facilities, air defense systems, other military facilities. When asked about the Karg Island strikes on early Tuesday, Trump told the Post he can't comment on that. U.S. strikes on Karg Island do not signal any shift in American strategy, Vice President J.D. Vance said Tuesday while in Budapest. We were going to strike some military targets on Karg Island, and I believe we have done so. We're not going to strike energy and infrastructure targets until the Iranians either make a proposal that we can get behind or don't make a proposal. Yet, I don't think the news in Karg Island represents a change in strategy or represents any change from the President of the United States. Caroline Levitt has posted an update on agreement. Tomorrow morning will be an update by the Secretary of War and Chairman Kane. Wow. I will look for this. Don't you read the ads, man? No, I don't. Okay, let's look and see. Let me see if I can find it. I don't see a message here. I don't see. I'm looking at her thing. Where is it? Oh wait, here we go. All right, here we go. Oh, never mind. I guess this is the thing they're talking about. Jim Hoff needs to work on his neck. Yes, he does. Those ads are important. Oh, okay. Not for me. This is a victory for the United States that President Trump and our incredible military made happen. From the very beginning of Operation Epic Fury, President Trump estimated this would be a 4 to 6 week operation. Thanks to the unbelievable capabilities of our warriors, we have achieved and exceeded our core military objectives in 38 days. This is it? Okay. More on that tomorrow from Secretary of War and Chairman Kane. The success of our military created maximum leverage, allowing President Trump and the team to engage in tough negotiations that have now created an opening for a diplomatic solution and long-term peace. I mean, I hope so. I hope so. Hey, OTR Smokehouse, great to see you. How? Jason Fisher says, are the new letters in Savannah Guthrie grandmother case legit? I have no idea. Additionally, President Trump got the Strait of Hormuz reopened. Never underestimate President Trump's ability to successfully advance America's interests and broker peace. Joe comes in and says, I don't want innocent people to die, but this has been Iran's strategy for 47 years. Wait until the last minute, have us stop, and then go back to the same crap. I hope I'm wrong this time. What do they say? What's it called when you keep repeating the same thing over and over again, expecting different results? It's the definition of insanity. Just saying. Insanity, yeah. Bella is a good girl. Yep. All right. Let's go back to see what else was on here. Artemis 2. Check this out. We'll check this real quick. We currently have over 8,000 fraud matters underway. These cases represent a fraction of the fraud ripping off our country. Wow. You guys know about this? You guys know about fraud?
Every day, Department of Justice investigators and prosecutors work to punish those who commit fraud. For example, just this week, and it's only Tuesday, a criminal defendant was sentenced and the department obtained 2 additional guilty pleas in matters totaling over $500 million in healthcare and COVID fraud. If you think about that, just since yesterday, we had a guilty plea in a $160 million healthcare enrollment fraud scheme and a sentencing in a $100 million COVID-19 fraud and a guilty plea in a $160 million healthcare fraud scheme as well. Each of these cases represents countless hours of dedication from the prosecutors and the federal agents and local law enforcement who work them. The Department of Justice is holding criminals accountable for stealing over $500 million from taxpayers.
Could be.
And across our U.S. attorney's offices all over this country, we currently have over...
Oh, wait a minute. What's going on outside my house? Let me go look. 2 Iranian ICBMs just stole my car. Hi, Renee. How you doing? Great to see you. Hank, awesome to see you too, buddy. No, I'm just making a joke. So I don't know. I mean, they could be. They have ICBMs. They know they can reach London. Never mind, it was the DoorDash guy. Oh. Maybe they're using the Iranian ICBMs to get it there in 15 minutes or less.
For 8,000 fraud matters underway. Unfortunately, as you've heard a lot about recently, because it's true, these cases represent a fraction of the fraud ripping off our country every day. Thanks to the leadership of President Trump, this department, working closely with the task force to eliminate fraud, is supercharging efforts to take down every fraudster and bring them to justice.
Clear and present years ago. Yeah. Yes, it was. Wow. Wow, that's a lot of fraud. Oh, check this out. ICE arrests a sicko illegal migrant accused of kidnapping a 4-year-old girl from Long Island laundromat. Wow, that's crazy. That's a crazy story. That's a crazy story, isn't it? That's a crazy story. ICE arrests a sicko illegal migrant accused of kidnapping a 4-year-old girl from Long Island laundromat. Carlos Corte. I mean, these things just keep happening. They just keep happening.
the left side. You guys are also going on the left side.
That's crazy. That's crazy. We'll get to the story in 1 second. There's something I want to address in the chat. Were they able to bury the uranium in the mountain? I believe that the stuff, like all the plate, like they haven't been able to get to it yet. Like the Iranians haven't been able to get into the places where they struck. It's just been completely destroyed, and they haven't been able to get any equipment in there. From what I take from what I've read, I don't know. They do this kind of thing all the time. Where they come from? Yeah, probably. Great to see Bella. Yes, Miss Hacker. It's great to see Bella. Great to see everybody here too. It's as if they're not sending their best. It is. So the Department of Homeland Security has rearrested the illegal alien accused of kidnapping a 4-year-old from a Long Island laundromat last month after a local judge released the creep back onto the streets. So a judge released him onto the streets. Carlos Corte, an illegal alien from Ecuador, was taken back into custody by ICE agents March 31st and placed in removal proceedings. Corte, 38, allegedly led the girl out the back of the laundry kingdom and Pachaho. I don't know. Is that Pachagoo? Yeah, no wonder these wonderful men had to leave their home countries. Yes. They send trash. Don't worry, that Strat is open to the tankers, and we're all going through. Gas should drop $2 a gallon overnight. We'll see. We shall see. I did get gas today, and this is the first time today. It was earlier this morning, and it was over $4 where I was at. So it was $4.02 a gallon. So he allegedly led the girl out the back of the laundromat on March 28th with her unsuspecting mother was there, according to the Suffolk County Police, who later found the tot at the nearby library. They need to make sure the Iranian is inaccessible before any deal. Well, I mean, depending on how much damage was taken to the things that hold it, it might be dangerous for them to try to dig it up. You know, Suffolk cops quickly arrested him on charges of second-degree kidnapping, endangering the welfare of a child, and an outstanding warrant. A local judge freed him the following day on supervised release. What is happening? DHS in a statement fumed that he was, after his initial arrest, that sanctuary politicians released him from jail back into the community. He illegally entered the country on at least 3 occasions in 2020, according to DHS, and was removed each time. Why don't you charge him with the felony? With the felony, then. Charge him with the felony of illegal entry. That's what you need to do. Charge him with the crime, the felony. Then they can't say he's not a criminal. They try to lie and say he's not a criminal. He illegally re-entered the U.S. a 4th time at an unknown place in time before the kidnapping attempt. The 3-time deported illegal alien, Carlos Corte, kidnapped an innocent 4-year-old girl from a laundromat. New York sanctuary politicians chose to release the kidnapper from jail to prey on more innocent children, rather than cooperate with ICE. Yeah. Sanctuary politicians must stop putting politics above public safety. This type of insanity leads to more crime and more innocent victims. Yeah, the second illegal entry into the U.S. is a felony, 5 years. Yeah, to re-enter after you were deported is an automatic felony, 5 years. And I think it goes up. I think the 3rd time is 10 years. I think it goes up like that. I think it goes up. Uzelian says, I pay about $4.15 for ethanol-free gas for my motorcycle. I'm going to tell you right now, $4.15 for ethanol-free gas is actually not a bad price. Like if you go to all right, depends on where you're at. Like if you go to the harbor, like to the marina with your boat to get ethanol-free gas for your boat, you're going to pay over $5 a gallon at the marina because they got you. You're at the marina. Where else are you going to go? So exhausted by the MSM spin. More than that, the panicans who have shown their cards make me sick. You bet $5.04 a gallon for premium and Kissimmee. Don't buy cars that run on premium. Is that guy white? Probably another white guy. The gas is too damn high. Laundry Kingdom. Wow. I mean, that doesn't look like it's in a bad neighborhood either. I mean, the building is nice. The windows aren't broken. I don't see any spray paint. What deal they sign needs to include not allowing China and Russia to flood Iran with more weapons. That would be great, but they're not going to. I mean, they're not going to agree to that. You know, Iran's not going to agree to that. They're going to have to rebuild. They're going to have to rebuild. They're you know, I mean. Oh, look at that! I got a $5 from Lurch Linger. What's up, Lurch? Thank you so much. Cash App, thank you. Yeah, thank you so much. But that means we are now $48 away, just $48 away from adding an extra hour to the show. So thank you so much. $5.95 a gallon for 87 octane here in Pleasanton, California. God, that's. Travis says, can you send me some of that gas? I'm sick of taking carburetors apart to clean that green corn sludge out of it. They should sell it. We need a nice gentrified place, Jim. Should be down to $2 by morning. Should be. 5-axis screwing. Yeah. We can't enforce that. Yeah. I don't think so. I mean, oh, look at this. Wow. Thank you so much, Lisa, for 10. Thank you so much, Lisa. So generous. Now we're down to $38. Just $38 away from adding an extra hour to the show. Thank you all so much. Thank you, Lisa. And this, what the F says, $6.19 for 89 Midgrave in Ventura County. Not in California. It all has ethanol in it. There's got to be somewhere, though, that they sell, Travis. They have to sell, like, racing fuel that doesn't have ethanol in it. Or they should have gasoline that's for, like, small engines and stuff like that that's ethanol-free. Or for boats. Like, all boat. Like, you're not supposed to use anything with ethanol in it for boats at all. Snarf says, my town was gentrified 10 years ago. Now it's back to dilapidated. Well, thank you so much. Mm-hmm. The National Desk just reported U.S. Iranian hackers are targeting what? Internet? Yes, remember to hit the like button, please. He was on supervised release with a GPS monitor after being freed from jail without bail by Suffolk County District Judge James F. Leonick. Yeah. Travis says, really? Yeah. They, like, anywhere there's a marina, or, you know, you should be able to look. Used to get avgas at airports here in CS. Not sure if you can still get it as a private citizen. There should be in California. There should be places that sell it. There should be, seriously. There should be places that sell racing fuel, 103 octane. If you wanted to go on that, you know, or 104 octane, if you wanted to go down that route. But there should be some places that sell the stuff, because any type of person for like ATVs, snowmobiles, any type of two-stroke engine, you're not supposed to really use ethanol in, because it burns too hot and you'll burn up the motors. And the reason you're not supposed to use ethanol at all in boats, or actually anywhere around water, is because the ethanol absorbs moisture from the atmosphere, and you'll get a like water in your gas tank, and you'll end up with a problem, major problem. Downtown DCAT says, hey, Jim and Chat, just checking, where are we on the goal? We are $38 away from adding a first extra hour to the show, unless something came in I don't know about. Let me look. Nope, I think I got it all. Ethanol is a racket. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yeah, I bought many gallons of avgas for sandrails. Yeah. Do you think burying the uranium is better than removing it in trucks? Too dangerous? What I'm saying, okay, what I'm saying about the stuff that got buried is the damage to the facility. They could have busted something open. You know, they could have busted up those are alcohol cars. The funny cars run on alcohol. Yeah, GWB brought us ethanol. Yeah. I just saved the Jet A from my fuel samples and used that as diesel. I get avgas from my local airport for our race car in Northwest Ohio. So I think if you look at the facts of this case, clearly they're concerning. This guy's public defender argued the alleged kidnapping appeared to be a result of miscommunication. Oh, yeah, miscommunication. Sure, miscommunication. Yeah. He thought the girl lived alone without parents. That's really the fucking story they're going to try to go with. He thought it was a 4-year-old girl that was living alone with no parents, just out on her own, just had her own apartment. Like, what the fuck is going on here? That guy, the lawyer that made that argument, that made that fucking statement, should be immediately committed to a fucking mental hospital. Like, immediately. Hey, Brian Ogden, what's up, buddy? Great to see you. Phil says, I also buy 10 gallons of gas for my small engines. I don't mix it for a 2-cycle, though. He took her to the library and told an employee there is as such, but there was a language barrier. It seems to be a mistake. I don't believe this. I don't believe it at all. Don't believe it at all. Sorry, don't believe it. And then jump to this, a little more Iran. U.S. strikes Iran's oil critical Karg Island as Trump warns whole civilization will die. Let's see here. All right, let's see. We'll play a little bit of this just because I've been bouncing back and forth between Iran and other stuff.
This tiny island, barely visible on a map, could control the fate of the war in Iran. This is Karg Island. Nearly 90% of Iran's oil exports flow through this one place. Whoever controls Karg Island controls Tehran's financial lifeline. President Trump has openly mulled taking the vital outcrop, but what would actually happen if he did? Here's everything you need to know. Karg Island sits just 15 nautical miles off the main coast of the Islamic Republic of Iran. The small, rocky island made of hard coral, sitting in the Persian Gulf, is just 5 miles long, but hosts one of the most strategically critical oil terminals on the planet. Because the waters around Iran's main coastline are too shallow for proper oil tankers to operate, the Islamic Republic instead pumps the vast majority of its oil through underwater pipelines to the island. On Monday, March 30th, President Trump once again teased taking Karg Island in a Truth Social post. If the Hormuz Strait is not immediately open for business, we will conclude our lovely stay in Iran by blowing up and completely obliterating all of their electric generating plants, oil wells, and Karg Island, he wrote. Trump's threat comes as he claims that a deal with Iran was, quote, probably close, but warned the U.S. would obliterate the regime's energy infrastructure if negotiations fell through. Being that gas and oil exports are among the cornerstones of Iran's economy, if it lost control of Karg Island to the United States, it would be a significant financial blow to the IRGC and its abilities to keep up in the conflict. The loss of the island could also provide the United States with considerable leverage in any negotiations with the Islamic Republic. Earlier in March, United States Central Command said more than 90 military targets had been struck on the island, however that no damage had been done to its oil facilities. Trump has so far hesitated making the consequential move to avoid long-term damage to Iran's economy. A seizure of the island could also send oil prices even higher. Even if the U.S. controlled the Islamic Republic's main export terminal, its production would still be controlled by Iran, which could render the island useless in an impasse. Iran has also already targeted other countries' oil infrastructure across the Middle East, as well as shipping vessels using its cheap and highly explosive drones. Cutting off the regime's economic lifeline would be a substantial escalation in the war and could prompt the regime to retaliate further as Iran prepares for a ground invasion from the United States. On Sunday, March 29th, as many as 3,500 U.S. Marines and sailors arrived in the Middle East on the USS Tripoli, which Trump has said could be deployed to secure the vital shipping lane of the Strait of Hormuz, as well as Iranian nuclear facilities. The Trump administration has engaged in mediated talks with Iran and has seen its hardline parliament speaker as a potentially useful negotiating partner, telling the Post, quote, Thus far, they've been much more reasonable. As Trump brings more military might to the region that could inflict catastrophic damage on Iran, he encouraged what's left of Iran's regime to make a deal before it's too late.
Wow, that's interesting. Very interesting. Okay. We saw this. There was a thing I wanted to show real quick here. Let me find it. Damn it. Damn it, damn it, damn it. Oh, there was something I saw and no, I can't find it. Damn it! I know I had it linked. What is going on? Something's going on with Twitter X, whatever you want to call it, where they're screwing around and things you're putting in your bookmarks just disappear. I don't get it. I don't get it. Anyway, all right, let's do this. Let's switch to this real quick because this is about the space launch. And thank you for the $2. Sure you saw my Artemis stupid question. Like I didn't see the question. I saw what you sent. You sent me this. So thank you for the $2. And I was going to bring this up in a little bit. So we're now $36 away from adding an extra hour to the show. Thank you so much. NASCAR Mo, what's up? Great to see you. Sorry I'm late, but glad to be here. Thanks for being here. Yeah, take the island and get sniped out from the mountains. Sniped from the mountains. Well, the mountains, the problem is the mountains are they don't have anything on the mountains to shoot the island. The problem would be that taking the island is a problem because you're stuck on the island then, and they can just send drones into there and missiles and stuff into the island to get you. And they also have artillery that can hit the island. So you'd have to take out, you'd have to take out like everything. You'd have to then invade the mainland to beat back the artillery to not take out the island. So that would be a problem, I think. It's a bad idea to invade the island. They can't shoot 14 miles. We aren't going to sacrifice troops. If Trump is Trump, we won't sacrifice anything. How can we have won and at the same time ask Iran to open the strait? Just asking. When it says Karga Island in the northern Persian Gulf is 25 to 28 kilometers off the coast of Iran, 16 to 17 miles. Yeah, I mean, they have artillery that can reach Karga Island from the mainland, though. Like 25 miles, I think, to artillery and stuff, I think. And so we would have to put stuff, like, I don't think you would want to put any, like, MLRS or anything like that on the island. You would want to put it on the I don't know. What is winning? Yeah. You're good. Love you. All right. Thank you. Thank you for another 2. Hank says we will own the island by morning. They had artillery. Mountains are deep. Thank you for the 2. That means we're now 34 away. Let's watch this video. This guy's going to explain to us something about the Artemis flight and maybe some other stuff.
I think these things are going to space. Aw, that's adorable. Why don't you let me show you some things that might just cause you to question your belief in that. First, let me just ask you something. Do you even know how fast these space shuttles are supposedly traveling to be able to leave Earth? 17,000 miles per hour, and even faster at 25,000 miles per hour to leave Earth's gravity completely. Do you know how fast that is? Do you know how fast a bullet travels? A bullet speed varies, but it can go up to 3,000 miles per hour. So you're telling me those shuttles are going 8 times faster than a bullet. Have you ever seen them take off? No, seriously. Have you ever watched them take off and then take flight and compared their speed to the clouds? When you get rid of all the noise and you just look at it versus hearing it and seeing the flames, seems suspiciously slow. And remember, they tell us...
Okay, well, why did you... You'd rather watch it... Then why did you send me the video to play? Not about speed, it's about thrust. No, I think so. Yes, they are going 8 times the speed of a bullet, you moron. But I'm a dummy. I mean, there's a difference. A bullet is tiny. I mean, if a bullet was bigger, you would see it, right? I think. I think that's the difference. A bullet is this tiny thing flying, and it doesn't, like... I mean, I've seen on video, seen a bullet travel on, like, if you see, like, ever see a video of someone shooting a 45 at something far away, you can actually see the bullet flying, boink, and hit it. How fast do bullets go, Jim? They go pretty fast. Generally, bullets are measured in feet per second, though. Like, and they're, like a 45 travels around 900 to 1,000 feet per second, and 9 millimeters up there around 1,200. Could be more or less. 5.56, 223 is like 2,800, 2,700, 2,800 feet per second to 3,000. This is 45,900 feet per second. They accelerate much faster when they get in the upper atmosphere and in space. That's what I think. These things, as they're getting away from the Earth, they just keep accelerating, and then they just really go once they get into the thinner air. And I don't know. This is what Brian sent me, and he says people need to see it. Okay.
They go 17,000 and up to 25,000 miles per hour. They'll tell you a hypersonic jet speed is defined as anything going Mach 5 or 3,800 miles per hour. And they'll say, well, speeds have been reached of Mach 10 only in unmanned craft like NASA's X-43A. Current manned aircraft have reached about Mach 6.7. Mach 6.7 is 4,500 miles per hour. But there are supposedly dozens and dozens of astronauts who have gone 17,000 miles per hour. Why don't we look at what an actual hypersonic jet taking off looks like compared to a NASA rocket, or a SpaceX rocket, in fact. Notice the clouds? Keep watching.
Does guy not realize how much heavier the rocket is than the airplane and how much more fuel it has? And it's actually going to leave the fucking atmosphere. That's why it's got to be so much bigger with so much more fuel that the hypersonic plane or whatever can't get to outer space. It can't make it there. Yeah, it isn't an aircraft, you retard. Yeah, it's crazy. Okay, Joe says, I love this guy. So what is he trying to say? That the rocket didn't go up to the moon? Yeah, that's what he's trying to say, that none of it's real. Functional check flight is nothing. Yeah.
Plus 30 seconds, Starship.
You want to see what a hypersonic sled traveling at 6,500 miles per hour looks like? And while some of you might say, perspective, you're so close, you got to get a further vantage point. Well, okay. Still not far enough away? Okay.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, fire.
It almost looks like it's moving as slow as if you released a line on a helium balloon and added some pyrotechnics to it. Oh, and you want to see what the astronauts look like in there? If they're actually in there.
And lift off.
Why would they put those in there? Visual tricks to make you think it's moving. They're still as can be, because they're not in there. It's a balloon. They launched it.
Oh, this guy's nuts.
No movement, No movement.
Just spectacular. The launch of Soyuz MS-9 and the beginning of Alexander Gerst's Horizons mission to the International Space Station, broadening horizons in science and space exploration. On board.
So again, to review, they tell us that the space shuttles go 17,000 miles per hour, 5 times faster than your fastest bullet, which you cannot see fly. Yet they also tell us that the fastest speed ever reached.
I mean, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. This guy is like delusional. He's like, oh, it's like a helium balloon that you just let go of. A helium balloon just keeps rising at the same speed. It never gets faster. The rockets are accelerating. First they start barely moving, like, oh, and then all of a sudden they go, 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 faster, faster, faster. They're just constantly accelerating. Now, Artemis rockets produce 7.2 million pounds of thrust. Yeah, this is crazy. Ever see a 747 jet when it takes off, it's going over 100 miles an hour. Does it look fast to you? Dude, it's awesome. Do you feel like you're moving together? An airplane is moving 500 miles an hour. Do you feel it? I guess those satellites orbiting the planet was sent up there by slingshots. I don't, let it play. He's hilarious. I don't know, man. I don't know. I have a feeling this might, like, YouTube's very, very strict about this type of craziness. So I don't know. This might have to get clipped out. So we'll see. So he's just another guy that's jealous he didn't grow up to be an astronaut. Maybe. He doesn't look that dumb.
By a manned craft was 4,500 miles per hour, and double down on it.
Okay, wait. That's not. Hold on. That's not what it said. He just lied. That's not what it said. It didn't say a manned craft. It said aircraft, not a spacecraft. There's a fucking difference. This is what the problem is. He's changing what the words are. He's not talking about jets and stuff, and he's using AI to find it. And I was wondering how strapped in passengers on a high-speed rail are. Yeah. YouTube allows this stuff. I've seen it all over YouTube. Okay. He's never heard of the X-15. Yeah. I don't know.
Mach 10 have been reached in unmanned crafts. And Mach 10 is only 7,000 miles per hour. Mach 10, 7,000 miles per hour. So even in unmanned crafts, they're only reaching 7,000 miles per hour.
Oh, wait, see, he just went, no. He's changing it, right? Hold on. Look. Mach 10, it's at a different speed. The speed would be different depending on your height.
7,000 miles per hour. Mach 10, 7,000 miles per hour. So even in...
Because they're not at sea level in space. Space, it's not sea level. Yeah, he said, they're laying down on their backs. They're being pushed down on their backs. They're strapped in like crazy. No shit, they aren't moving. It's crazy. Brian goes, thank you. Well, thank you, Brian, for the $2. And with that means we are now just $32 away, just $32 away from adding an extra hour to the show. Moron. Yeah, a moron. What's wrong with you, you moron? I will never forgive you for this. Thanks, Gundam Zig. I appreciate it. These people want you to believe they want nothing will ever change their minds. Yeah. They say F1 car is fast, but I saw one once sitting in a garage not moving at all, proving they're actually slow. Oh, our registration system is a mess. You got me there, Mustache Tex. Whoa. Nice shooting, Mustache Tex. Mm-hmm. All right, I guess we're going to.
Unmanned crafts, they're only reaching 7,000 miles per hour. And remember, that looks like this.
0, fire.
And NASA and SpaceX rockets look more like a slowly launched helium balloon. Oh, and speaking of helium balloons, do you know that's what satellites are actually held up in the air by? They're not in space. They're on giant helium balloons, which NASA is the #1 consumer of helium in the entire world. And when you compare the rocket to a known helium balloon being launched, well, they seem to have a very similar ascent. I don't know. That kind of looks like it's going as the same speed as that, especially when you compare the clouds. Just meandering by very slowly, like a balloon. But of course, all this for entertainment purposes. I don't really think NASA and SpaceX are fraudulent, fake companies to propagate space so you don't realize where you really live. And I definitely don't think that's just a remote control helium balloon. No, that's ridiculous. We live on a spinning globe. I evolved from a monkey, and water can definitely curve and stick upside down, even though smoke can easily leave the Earth's atmosphere. And yeah, sure, that's a rocket going to space. Entertainment only, people. Time to wake up. You still think?
Wow. I mean, so this guy thinks that the Earth, like anything on the bottom, like the people in Australia, if they're on the bottom of the Earth, that they should just fall off. Does he not know that the Earth is moving like 1,300 miles an hour right now, like spinning 1,300 miles an hour, that we're all spinning? Do you feel the Earth fucking spinning at all? At all. It's moving 1,300 miles an hour. You know, that's why, you know, the sun sets and rises, because the Earth is spinning. Jim, who sent you that? Thank whoever you are. Hilarious. It was Brian Ogden sent me that. You don't feel it? Oh. I'm guessing this nitwick never took a physics course. I just think this guy's allowed to vote. I don't know. I don't know. Brian Ogden, really? He sounds like a nut job. No, Brian Ogden's awesome. He's awesome. What country was it that told Trump in the past to let them fire off some missiles and told them where so they could intercept? Maybe this was the same action. Who knows? You know, that did happen, didn't it? Freedom Chain. Wasn't there? Didn't they do that before, after July or something before? Or with Soleimani? Thank you for the comedy gold. Yes. I need a keg and Brian needs a tick punch. We will walk the moon again and plant our flag. We're traveling through the universe at 500,000 miles per hour. That's what they say. In a just world, the Australians would just fall off. Yes, they would. In a just world. All right. Let's jump to this story here. This says that Vice President J.D. Vance's ongoing war with Iran is going to conclude very shortly. Go up and ride on the moon buggy. So it says there's a video here. And this is what I hate about the fucking Gateway Pundit. They tell you there's a video. But, you know, where's the video? Oh, here's the video. Never mind.
And first of all, the United States has largely accomplished its military objectives. There are still some things that we'd like to do, for example, on Iranian ability to manufacture weapons that we'd like to do a little bit more work on militarily. But fundamentally, the military objectives of the United States have been completed. So that means, as the president has said, very shortly, this war is going to conclude. And I think the nature of the conclusion is ultimately up to the Iranians. I think there really are two pathways, and I'm oversimplifying this a little bit, but I think pathway one is where the Iranians decide they're going to be a normal country. They're not going to fund terrorism anymore. They're going to be part of the world system of commerce and exchange. And that's going to mean much better things for them economically. It's going to mean better things for the peace and safety of the world. It's going to mean a lot of good things for a lot of people all over the planet. That's option A. Okay. Option B is if the Iranians don't come to the table and they stay committed to terrorism, to terrorizing their neighbors, not just Israel, but of course their Arab neighbors too, then the economic situation in Iran is going to continue to be very, very bad. And frankly, it will probably get worse. And so what the president has asked his entire team to do, particularly Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner, is to figure out what are the contours of a potential deal? What are they willing to do? Because
I will point out, too, that just so in case anyone was wondering, that we are in DOCON 3. on the Pentagon Pizza Index. So there is some stuff. There's activity going on in the Pentagon. We're at DOCON 3. All right. DOCON 3. All right. Means that there's a 10-point peace plan via Iranian state media reportedly agreed to as a workable basis for upcoming negotiations. Two of the angriest people tonight is Benjamin Netanyahu and Lindsey Graham. It says Republican Lindsey Graham, who for the last several months was heavily advocating for an ongoing war against Iran, for which he insisted that President Trump did not need permission from Congress, is now calling for congressional review of the process for any ceasefire. So now Lindsey Graham says, no, you can't have a ceasefire unless Congress says so. I mean, what is going on with these people? This is some crazy stuff. This is senior Trump administration officials have told Israel the U.S. will insist on removing Iranian nuclear material, stopping enrichment, and eliminating the threat of ballistic missiles and more. So we're going to keep. This is a good site I like to go to because they track the pizza stuff going on around because this is like notorious. If this gets to DOCON 2 or 1, that's shit hitting the fan. DOCON 3 is there might be something happening. Okay. So we saw this. So that was a good video, right? And then so basically, JD Vance is saying that the military objectives of the U.S. have been completed, which I think kind of backs you into a corner to say that. Uber Eats changed the game. Yeah. Heavies. DEFCON 3. No. This is DOCON 3. It's called the Pentagon Pizza Monitor because somebody came up with this, and whenever something's going on in the world, the Pentagon, the people start ordering pizza, they're working late, ordering food into the Pentagon. So they monitor the pizza places around the Pentagon. We need some 4th of July fireworks over Carg Island. I had one person ask how did they align the mirror so good that it can reflect a laser beam back to Earth from the moon? We are targeting plutonium now. Had to explain what a retroreflective mirror is to them. Judge Boasberg will order Trump to stop the ceasefire. Oh man, that would be weird. It's JD and Rubio doing a great job. Click con man. With pineapples, maybe. Greetings, Karen. Blue Peon, great to see you. Great to see you, Tiberius. Great to see you, Karen O. So he was in Hungary and talking about the U.S. objectives. We saw this. What's next? Oh, wait, this isn't. Okay, let's see.
President Trump's border policies are saving this country each and every day. But Congress needs to do more.
First of all, the United States has largely accomplished its military objectives. There are still some things that we'd like to do, for example, on Iranian ability to manufacture weapons that we'd like to do a little bit more work on militarily. But fundamentally, the military objectives of the United States have been completed. So that means, as the president has said, very shortly this war is going to conclude. And I think the nature of the conclusion is ultimately up to the Iranians. I think there really are two pathways, and I'm oversimplifying this a little bit.
Oh, we already saw this.
Sorry.
We already saw this one. I thought it was different. My bad. Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to do that. I mean, I had a show set up, and then the breaking news about the ceasefire came in after the show was already prepped. So a lot of the stuff is going to be a little, it's going to be a little outdated, but whatever. The president of Iran, I thought it was the prime minister or something, or a speaker or the president. Somebody is who they're talking to. I'm surprised nobody turned the moon into a billboard. Yeah, could be. So Pakistanis have begged Trump for a 2-week delay to end this. Yeah, so we saw that. Prime Minister of the Islamic Republic of Pakistan. Pakistan's called the Islamic Republic of Pakistan? We just never know until it happens. That's why our military is so awesome. Just saying. Yeah. I not recall things or movies I see. So Iran elects a president. Yeah, they do. They elect a president, but the plea comes as Trump's deadline looms large. So yeah, so they did do this. Trump did do it and got the ceasefire. So Jackie Heinrich says, just had a short call post, but see, I don't like Jackie Heinrich at all. She's been proven to me to be a piece of crap.
Phone call with President Trump. He declined to say how he's feeling about the talks with Iran, but he said that, I can't tell you right now, we're in heated negotiations. So that at least shows us that the president, as he always has been, is open to discussion on all of this. He wants that.
Pakistan is a proxy of who, the U.S. or Iran? Because Pakistan is Sunni and they're like really tight with Saudi Arabia, and Saudi Arabia and Iran don't get along. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how that works exactly. Not sure. Okay, and then here's more of this. Iran and U.S. agreed a 2-week ceasefire. So we saw all this.
This is Jacob Garden-Schwartz. I'm a senior White House reporter with Scripps News, and I'm coming to you with a breaking news update about a story we've been following all day. Earlier this morning, President Trump promised to unleash civilization-ending strikes on Iran's civilian infrastructure unless officials agreed to end the ongoing war and open the Strait of Hormuz, that key global shipping route. Now, throughout the day, White House officials insisted to us that the president was sticking to his deadline of 8 p.m. on Tuesday night. But a few hours ago, Pakistan's prime minister proposed a 2-week ceasefire to allow for these diplomatic negotiations towards some sort of solution to end the conflict to continue. And just a few moments ago, President Trump announced on Truth Social he's agreed to that plan. In exchange for the U.S. holding off on those strikes, Trump says Iran will allow the, quote, complete, immediate, and safe opening of the strait. Will this ceasefire be enough to bring about a long-standing end to the conflict? That's really an open question that no one knows. But at the very least, we do know that these significant escalatory strikes that were planned tonight at 8 p.m. have been held off for now. Keep watching Scripps News for the latest updates.
Okay, Scripps. So yeah, so that's what's happening there. And then somebody showed me this, which says, arrest Obama. Breaking news. This was a couple days ago. I actually saw this. Disgraced former President Barack Hussein Obama has reportedly established a back channel and a shadow government to communicate directly with world leaders who countries are part of NATO, anticipating a possible Trump administration withdrawal from the alliance. Does this mean the strait is open? Well, yeah, if the strait's not open, then the deal's off. He thinks there's going to definitely be some dirty bombs. President, as he has been, huh? Or India would be worse, nuclear. Well, India has nuclear bombs, too. They do. Allegan News, what's up, buddy? Just came out of my bunker. I thought for sure 8 p.m. World War III nuclear was going to happen. Well, yeah, well. Logan Act. Well, somebody should be Logan acted, that's for sure. The UAE is in control. Okay, they would fire back. Could be. Could be. Could be. Let's see here. Okay. Let's do this. Let's see. New York Times is dropping hit pieces on me like crazy today. Civil rights can't stop, won't stop. Can't stop, won't stop. DEI was erased from New York City racial equity plan to avoid conflict with Trump. Yes. Yeah, we were going to talk about this a little bit, but I guess we'll do it now. Can a former president be charged with treason? Yes. Yes, he's not president now. India does not have nukes. It is just Vindaloo. Okay. Yep, the strait is open. Gas will be down by morning. Meme of the day. Okay, I'll have to look at that. Let's see what that is. Oh, yeah. Oh, this fucking guy. This fucking guy. Yeah, Rokana. Trump back down. No credit to Congress. No credit to anybody. We need an anti-Epstein. This guy is a fucking piece of shit. Anybody who thinks he's not is nuts.
As a human being and as an American citizen, I am relieved that Donald Trump has accepted a ceasefire and withdrawn his threat to destroy Iranian civilization. But let's be clear. This did not happen because of Congress, which barely made a whimper. This happened because of the force of the American people. Not just progressives and liberals, but conservatives like Tucker Carlson, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and even Ann Coulter spoke out against the horror of threatening genocide against another people.
Nobody was fucking threatening genocide, you piece of disingenuous shit.
This tells me one thing. The only thing that will save this country, the only thing that will save our democracy is a broad populist social movement. Anti-Epstein class, anti-war, pro-working class. As a human being and as an American...
Fuck him. Yeah, here he is. Oh, but war crimes. Taco. He's making a hard choice. You're an absolute joke. I thought you were anywhere near the center. Yeah. He's a piece of shit. What a piece of shit. What a shit of peace. What a shit of peace. Oh, you can't even read it. It's behind a fucking paywall. So you can't even read the fucking story from the New York Times. Go figure. There's no such thing as reverse discrimination, just plain old discrimination. The Justice Department did not respond to requests for comment. Under President Trump's direction, the Civil Rights Division has pursued claims of reverse discrimination. How it's just discrimination? I don't know if you guys heard, Danny Ann Direct, Danny Ann, she announced today she has exciting news. She's moving to D.C. and has accepted a position with the DOJ as a trial attorney. I appreciate all you for your patience, understanding, and stop streaming. I wasn't sure if I should post anything about the new opportunity. I still won't go into details regarding which division I'll be working in, as I've always tried to keep my private life and online presence separate. I appreciate everyone who has followed my channel over the years. So if the Dems get back in power, they can elect Mandami for POTUS. Well, he can't. He's not a natural-born U.S. citizen. Not Rokana. It was a two-button meme under his dumbass post. Oh, I know. They still don't understand Trump and how he works and never take his tweets seriously and literally. Yeah. What does the end of civilization in the country mean? Well, it means what is civilization? Electricity, plumbing, If you don't kill any person, if you just take out their stuff so they don't have electricity, don't have plumbing, don't have stuff like that, I mean, is that genocide or is that just a war? How long until Roe and Massey finger cuff Barnes? Who knows? I hope Jeff is looking down on Danny. This is great news for her. It is. Hey, Brian with $1. Thank you, Brian. It means we are now $31 away from adding an additional hour to the show. Thank you so much. I was wondering what Danny was up to. Good for her. We need good attorneys at the DOJ. Yes. End of the fun coupons. Love everybody, and the dialogue is important. Yes, it is. Thank you so much. So I appreciate everyone who's followed my channel over the years, and for my many friends I made along the way. I'll miss you all, as I will likely be too busy between being a full-time trial attorney and a parent to stream for a while. I don't want to make promises I can't keep. I can't upload small vlogs about family fun things to do in D.C. during the 250th anniversary of our country. Yes, I know. Thanks for the image. Yes, thank you for the image. I'm honored, humbled, and excited to serve our country in this capacity. This opportunity is a dream come true. Until I see you next time, God bless you, God bless your families, and God bless the United States of America. Yeah. I am extremely happy for Danny. I really am. She really wanted to be the prosecutor for her Salt Lake City, Utah, Salt Lake City County Salt Lake County. It didn't work out. Now she's going to be hopefully a U.S. attorney or something, or a trial attorney for the DOJ. That's great. That's just great. Hopefully it's for Harmeet, that she's working for Harmeet. I hope so. Marco Rubio came out and said, I am pleased to announce, didn't she live in Korea? She lived in Korea for a little while. She's also from Utah. Danny the Patriot. I'd hate to save my brother because it wouldn't be fun. I'm so happy for her. Oh, here's another good meme. Ah. Me watching Trump cook, the Panicans and the Democrats. Her hubby is Korean. She lived in Utah. Yeah. Uh-oh. Wow. Thus We Stand has gifted. Oh, gifted memberships don't show up. Wow. Don't show up. Well, I'll just do this then. Thus We Stand gifted 5. Jim tells you memberships. Thank you so much. It says, Fran VT was gifted a membership by Thus We Stand. NASCAR Mo was gifted a membership. Jody was gifted a membership. Uzelian was gifted a membership. Lynn P was gifted a membership. Thank you so much. Wow, that means we are now just $6 away, folks. Just $6 away from adding an extra hour to the show. Oh, we might actually get an extra hour tonight. Good job, people. Thank you so much. 5. Yes, you gifted 5 memberships. That's what I was saying. 5 memberships at $5 a piece. That's $25, right? Like, did my math not work there? Congratulations to all the gifted. Thank you. Thus We Stand. Thank you so much. That's awesome. I greatly appreciate it. Rumble clap outbreak. Yes, definitely. Definite outbreak of the rumble clap. All right, let me get back to some news here. Where are we at? We are rallying. Try 6.22. I can't do that type of math. You know what I'm saying? Like, I round it. I round it out. All right. It says Iran warns of a proportionate response if Trump fulfills attack threats. An Iranian envoy said Tehran would respond swiftly and in kind if President Trump follows through on threats to launch attacks on the country's whole civilization. Working with Harmeet Dillon would make sense since Danny did a show with Ron Coleman. Well, one membership is $5.99 on YouTube. Gifted memberships on YouTube is $5.99, but on Rumble they're only $4 or $5 on Rumble, I believe. They're not $5.99 on Rumble? Hold on. I got to double check. I always thought they were $5 on Rumble. Yeah, they're $5, $4.99 on Rumble. So $24.99 for 5 subs, $4.99 for 1 on Rumble. So $5. Thank you, though. Now I can't get out of this. Oh, crap. Now I'm stuck. I don't have the thing. So, what is going on over here? Oh, nuts. All right. Tehran's United Nations representative, Amir Sayed. Jules says Cash App. And Renee says, on YouTube, they are $5.99. Yes, to gift a membership on YouTube. Yes, they are $5.99. And Ray for $7. So we have
tactical assessment. Red Chinese victory. Impossible. America will never fall to communist invasion. I don't want to. Communism is the very definition of failure.
Thank you so much. So that means now we are. We got an extra hour. Oh, look at that. I got 2 Cash Apps. One from Jonathan Marcos and one from Jules. Thank you so much. $6 each. So that means that's 12 off. Thank you so much for both of you. I got to open this up and take care of this real quick. It's only polite for me to give the reply back with a heart and say thank you for the donation. Thank you so much, Jules, for the 6, and Lurch Linger for the 5 earlier tonight. Thank you. And Jonathan Marcos for the 6. All right. And so that means that would take us to $100 away from a second additional hour, plus another 7 from Renee and 6 from either Jonathan Marcos or whichever you want to call it. So that's another $13 off. So that means that we are $87 away from adding a second additional hour to the show. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you so much. On YouTube, they are $5.99. Yes, they are. Thank you. You can round up. Thank you for the 7. You can get some cream for that rash. You lowered them to $2.99 once. I did once. I tried to on YouTube, and it wouldn't let me. It says $6.49 for one. Not when I looked. It says $4.99. Are you in a different country, Duck Fat? Are you in Europe or something? Mm-hmm. The story seems out of date with the announcement. Yes, it is. It says $31.99 for 5. Where are you at, Duck Fat? Are you in a different country? Are you in Canada? Or are you in Europe or something, or somewhere else? Because I could. I came in and we got the goal for the first additional hour. Yes, we did. You absolutely loved Mork and Mindy on Rumble. No, I know on Rumble, but where are you? Because I'll just prove a point here. All right, I can do this. I could share this tab again. All right, look, and then if I do this, look, it says $4.99 for 1 sub, $24.99 for 5, $49.99. Okay, see it? So I don't know. You're almost in China. That's what I'm saying. After taxes, that's about right for $5.99. Or 622 times 5. I don't know. I can't do this math, man. I just can go by what it says here. This is all. I know Rumble only gives me $5. So they must, wherever you are, they must convert it to US, and that's why they do something weird with it. We are still in the fog of the ceasefire, but I have high hopes this is the beginning of the end of the war. Thank you, Dog Backwards. I appreciate state sales tax. Maybe. I don't know. I just know what Rumble, it's like $5, and I don't even get the 5. They take 30% of the 5, so I get $3.50 out of the 5. Did everyone hit that like button? 37 more. It could really help Jim out. Yes, thank you so much. All right. Okay, let's go back to this. I guess. Well, you know what? Let me look. Let's see. Let me look for some other stories that are not. I guess we could do this one. Yeah, let's do this one. Oh, wait. This is a good one. This one we're going to do. This one. This story. Iranian American demon rat. Where's the cat? The cat is hiding. I always remember in calculus I had a problem that took 3 pages to figure out. I'm currently in Maryland and I get the same price as Duck, $31.99 for 5. there must be, you're getting ripped off. There must be a tax. There must be a tax in your state or something going on for that to happen. Either that, or are you using a VPN? $31.10, $5.99 plus taxes. Well, that's YouTube. YouTube is different. YouTube, there's different things, but on Rumble, it's only $4.99. I mean, that's what I'm in Texas, and it's what Jim says. So I'm thinking a blue state tax. State taxes apply. Yeah, Washington State. Maybe there's a tax in your state on this stuff that they're taking a percentage of the money. That's why it's raised up. I don't know. I just know what it says. Okay, so it says $6.49 for one, etc. on my phone. My computer says $4.99. Oh, you know why? Okay, on your phone. That's why. On your phone, on the app, if it's an Apple phone or even a Google phone, if it's an Android phone, Rumble is probably charging extra because they're covering the cost that Google or Apple takes, because they're not, that Google or Apple takes 30%. So that's what they're doing. They're making the person that buys it's not a tax. No, it's not a tax. I can see what they're doing. It's on a phone. So it's Apple, like, because if you're using the Apple app, like you have Apple Pay or whatever on your phone, they're automatically, if you use a phone to do you're on a Droid phone, if they're also charging you, then that's because Android is owned by Google, and Google charges the same thing for purchases from anything on their app, just like Apple does. Apple and Google both charge 30% for anything bought through an app. I tried. I failed RE code, PayPal via Gmail, saw nothing. I'm retarded. Sorry, Jim. I'll try another day. Oh, makes sense to me. Fuck them all to death. That's what I'm saying. Don't, I'll tell people right now, if you want, I appreciate all the money that you donate, but please be aware that if you're on an app, like on a phone, a smartphone, using an app that comes from either an Apple app store or a YouTube app store, like a Google Play app store, they take 30% of anything you buy on that app. So a lot of people like Rumble do is they're basically saying we're charging you the 30% on top because Rumble doesn't want to lose the money. Yeah. Yeah. Google and Apple charge a percentage on their app stores. You have to pay through them. Yes. So that's why it's more. It's not nothing, that's why I just say if somebody super chats on an Apple phone, then it's like if you super chat on an Apple phone, yes, using the Cash App is best, yes, or the PayPal takes pennies. Either one, using the browser is better than throwing money on a Rumble to avoid the cut. Yeah. How much does Cash App take? I haven't seen Cash App take anything. I haven't seen Cash App take anything. So I don't know what they take. Honestly, I don't. When I withdraw money out, they don't seem to take anything. It all seems to come right through. I'll double check, but I don't think Cash App takes anything. No, it doesn't look like they take anything. So it says we're used to it, Jim. All good then, since I only gift through my computer. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think if you go, you're on a computer, PayPal is via Gmail. That shouldn't be a problem. Cash App might charge the user. Maybe Cash App charges the people giving the money. I don't know. Cash App has no fees. I didn't think they did. Because Cash App wants you to keep money in there. And so the more money you keep in there, they're using that money for other stuff. Someday we will wake up and all our money will be gone. That was the whole reason for the Apple and Epic Games lawsuit. Epic was going around Apple, so Apple killed Fortnite on their store. Yeah. Jules says, I'll catch the extra hour in the morning. Good night, everybody. Yeah. It's easier to hit the button. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Okay. I use PayPal and Google 1066 and Jim gets $10. There you go. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. The Rumble wallet charges no fees when tipping creators. yeah, I don't know. I don't know how that works though. It's something to do with like I have a tip thing. I don't know how it works. I just got it when they offered it. I don't know how it works yet. Cash App stole $600 from me, never using it again. Oh my god, that's fucked up. If folks don't have access to a PC, go on the PC for gifting. If you're on a tight budget, yeah, definitely. You didn't do it tonight, no problem. So this Iranian American demon rat pushes a wild plot to impeach Pete Hegseth and push cabinet to remove Trump in the middle of Iran war. What is this?
Do you think political allegiance to Trump is a requirement for serving our nation, either in uniform or a civilian in the department?
I'm incredibly proud, as are millions of Americans.
No. Not today, Hegseth. Yes or no?
Fuck you. That's what I say. Go fuck yourself.
That is.
It's silly enough to warrant a very straightforward answer. Yes or no?
We all support and defend the Constitution of the United States.
You know what? I'm not going to waste my time anymore. You're not worthy of my attention or my questions. You're an embarrassment to this country. You're unfit to lead. And there's been bipartisan members of Congress that have called for your resignation. You should just get the hell out and let somebody competently lead this department.
Mr. Chairman, do we not have any decorum in here?
Do you think political allegiance to Trump is a requirement for serving?
Whatever. This guy's a fucking clown. So a House demon rat vowed to furnish articles of impeachment against Secretary of War Pete Hegseth, whom she bashed as the chief enabler of President Trump's insane military action against Iran. Like, that's crazy. Car bomb. Yeah, he's a car bomb, all right. Thought that was Yoda. Yeah, go fuck yourself, dude. Yeah. You can't remove POTUS during a declared war. Yeah. Well. Says, Don Boo says, I do it just for principle to not give the app money. Yeah. I didn't know it for a long time, and I would just do it on the phone because it was easier to just do it and pay it through Apple Pay. And then once I found out, I was like, nope, no more. And I only donate and get memberships or anything through the computer. That way the people don't get screwed. Because why would you want to just give money to Apple for no reason? I mean, YouTube already takes a cut. So why would you want to give it to Apple? Lady Bama, thanks for being here. Yeah, that guy is definitely an idiot. I hate that asshat. Who does he think he is? Pete is a highly respected and decorated man. It is. I don't have an Apple anything, and I never will. Awesome. Good for you. So Representative Yasmin Ansari, the first Iranian-American demon rat elected to Congress, raged against Trump's for his jaw-dropping threats to Iran, including his to end the country in one night, and called for impeaching Hegseth, a necessary step to prevent a catastrophe. Yeah, give money to Gates the Predator. No, don't do that. Yeah, switch him into a cornfield. Yeah. Mm-hmm. 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 Did I bring this up? A member for 10 months. Deport him. Thank you so much, America First, formerly known as Trumpinator. Deport the Dems, yes. Money is money. Obviously, I pay for YouTube. Yeah, I know. I mean, I pay to not have ads. Yeah, I pay to not have ads on YouTube, too. Bella is itchy tonight. Yeah, I did switch her food. It seemed like it was working. Look at this, Catherine K., another member for 10 months. Thank you so much, Catherine K. AOC would wet her panties. Yeah. Yeah, probably. My phone and tablet are Apple. I had Samsung before, and they were junk. I am introducing articles of impeachment against Pete Hegseth for repeatedly violating his oath of office and his duty to the Constitution. Exactly. What? Yeah, these fucks forget Hegseth was an officer leading troops in war. Some of the preferred people have never been deployed. Yeah, never. Like, how did this person get elected in the United States of America? That is a question.
What we have seen out of the Trump administration over this weekend has been absolutely horrifying and gut-wrenching. The threats against Iranian civilian infrastructure and the entire country of Iran are unreal and apocalyptic. Today, Donald Trump said, quote, the entire country could be taken out in one night, and that night might be tomorrow night. That was his quote. Iran is a country of 90 million people. Threatening them with annihilation is a monstrous war crime and puts them and American service members and Americans at grave risk. It also only serves the interests of the Islamic Republic regime.
Okay, first of all, if everybody in Iran was somehow, in their mind, genocided and taken out, who's going to be left to do anything? So that argument is circular, lady. That somehow, if you kill everybody, you're going to get blowback from the people that are dead. No. And nobody was talking about killing everybody. I mean, they take Trump literally when you're not supposed to take him literally. Yeah, threats aren't war crimes. No, they're not. Minus about 70,000 now. Yeah, there's about 70,000 less than there was because Iran killed them. They need to pass a law where only native-born people can be in Congress, prefer them with kids. Yeah.
Further entrenching their power, providing them with a convenient boogeyman while punishing the civilian population. As a chief enabler of this illegal war, Pete Hegseth is responsible for directing this insane military action against Iran, which has already killed thousands of civilians, led to the unnecessary deaths of American service members, and displaced over 1 million people in the region. That's why I'm introducing articles of impeachment against Hegseth for repeatedly violating his oath of office and the Constitution, including the disregard of Congress and willful targeting of civilian infrastructure in Iran, like water desalination plants, like hospitals, like schools and bridges.
None of that stuff has been targeted, you stupid, crazy cunt. Sorry, everybody, but this is a psycho.
As the top official in the Department of War, Pete Hegseth has the duty to comply with the laws, lead by example for other military officials, and uphold his commitment to the Constitution above all else. He has done none of that. Instead, he has trampled on the most fundamental principles upon which the United States was founded upon, including the separation of powers, congressional oversight, and respect for the rule of law. That's why I'm calling for Pete Hegseth's impeachment and removal from office.
Oh, good. You feel the same way. She took out her nose ring. Yeah, she normally has a nose ring. Nice. See you next time. See you next Tuesday. Yeah. Mother Papillon says, I love when Jim speaks my language. We need the midterms. We do. Yeah. Who wrote the garbage? Yes. Joel says, member for 9 months. I'm still lurking. When do we do a Membo stream? I don't know. Soon. I mean, here's the thing. We only have like 90 members, so it would be a very small stream. Very small stream. But maybe I'll make a video just for members, like something either like a cooking stream or something with Bella stream. Who knows? We'll see. Something like that, maybe. I've seen the nose ring, still waiting to see the bones in the nose. Yes. It's all headspace and no brains. Schweinfurt Ball Bearing Factory, essentially the German war machine, was next to homes and school. Guess what we did? Yeah. Pretty sure the women in chat are okay with calling her a see you next Tuesday? Okay. Well, I don't like to do it. An intimate stream. Yes, an intimate stream. Would be a very intimate stream. Yes, Article 4, Section 4 says the United States shall guarantee to every state in the Union a Republican form of government and shall protect each of them against invasion and domestic violence. Yes. Crazy, isn't it? Isn't it nuts? Well, everybody, oh shit, I have to update the goal. I didn't do that. I have to update a new goal for another hour. I did a boo-boo. I forgot, and I went over. Let me do this. Fix this, do this, start another goal for an hour. 20 super chats. All right. Aye. Renee Collins says, I'm in member for 7 months. Thank you so much. Bella is headless. Jim, you could do a member stream and let Bella host it. I guess I could do that. Cooking? Well, really? Well, I don't know. I don't know what to do or how to do a member stream. You know, like, I mean, I guess I could do a member stream, but, you know, is that better for Bella? You can see her head now, right? Looks like the Botox went straight to her brain. Can we get some more likes tonight? Yeah, reason for defense. Yeah. I think we can talk amongst ourselves and see. All right, well, Bella looking very svelte. We are the community. Yeah, all right, let's see. So only Congress has the power to declare war and repeated war crimes, including bombing a girls' school in Iran and willfully targeting are grounds for impeachment. This is just crazy. Trump has ramped up his threats against Iran over the weekend, telling the regime on Easter Sunday to open the effing straight, you crazy bastards, or live in hell. Gave him an 8 p.m. deadline to cut a deal. Reacting to those threats from Trump, Ansari called for his cabinet to invoke the 25th Amendment and remove him from office. That's actually, like, I don't understand how this aren't acts of actual sedition. The 25th Amendment is for somebody who's non-compos mentis. It's not for someone you disagree. If you disagree with their policies, you know the 25th Amendment is not for that. Not at all. So calling for them to use the 25th Amendment because you disagree with the policy positions, to me, is like staging a coup, which should be considered a fucking crime. Like, people need to go to jail for this shit. They're advocating to overthrow the government that we elected. Hex's team brushed off the impeachment push, with Press Secretary Kingsley Wilson telling the Post that this is just another demon rat trying to make headlines. Secretary Hegseth would continue to protect the homeland and unleash epic fury on Iran's radical regime. This is just another charade and an attempt to distract the American people from the major successes we have had at the Department of War. While Ansari's impeachment push is all but certain to crash and burn in a GOP-led Congress, it illustrates how Hegseth is emerging as a top target within the cabinet for demon rats following the firings of former Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem and former Attorney General Pam Bondi. You know, here's the thing. The reason they're going after Hegseth is because he's actually doing what Trump wants, and they don't want somebody to do what Trump wants. The 25th can be seen in any way. If the 14th grants automatic citizenship, why not? Sarcasm. I mean, it's very specific. It says if the president is incapacitated. It doesn't say if the president is doing things I don't like. That's a fucking coup. That's a coup. You got to understand that both parties are the same body, a hydra. She's not svelte. You talking about Bella? You calling Bella? Mark Edwin Webb, are you calling Bella fat? Is there any proof that it was us that bombed the school? Well, the Iranians said it was us, and all these people believe that because they believe whatever the Iranians say. Specific schmific, yeah. Else they would prosecute each other, yeah. The threats against Iranian civilian infrastructure. All right. On Tuesday, Trump went further in his warnings, declaring the whole civilization will die tonight. Are they talking about an insurrection? That's what I see. Yeah, Bella is just big boned. That's all. So that's just crazy, right? Just crazy. Just crazy. Look, just crazy. All right, on to this story now. It says, developing Shelley Kittleson, American journalist kidnapped in Iraq, freed after week in captivity. Truth is hurt to liars. Yes, it is. Shelley Kittleson, American journalist who was kidnapped in Iraq last week, is set to be freed from captivity. American freelance journalist Shelley Kittleson was kidnapped by armed men in Baghdad on Tuesday. Iraq's Interior Ministry confirmed the kidnapping. Shelley Kittleson was reportedly kidnapped by Iranian-backed militias. Got to notice Trump's holds the power in the Insurrection Act to stop and fix all that is corrupt, but will he use it? I don't know, man. Sometimes I think, honestly, I mean, sometimes I think Trump wants to be loved more than he wants to be feared. And, being feared is much better than being loved. Because fear lasts longer. Bella was running right-legged. Yeah, she does that. She has small paws. She does have small paws. She does. She doesn't have big paws. Curtis LeMay knew Japanese homes and large parts of the infrastructure was made from highly flammable materials. He ordered all incendiary raids so much that the whole U.S. Air Force ran out. That's right. We also the firebombing of Tokyo and Dresden killed more people than the fucking atomic bombs on Hiroshima or Nagasaki. Far more. Far more. Far more. He was promoted to SAC commander, not charged with crimes. We are weak. Yes. You can't tell you what I'm doing. It's in the weave. Okay. Security forces said they managed to arrest one of the suspects and seize one of the vehicles used in the kidnapping. The Ministry of Interior announced that this evening a foreign journalist was kidnapped by unknown individuals. Security forces immediately launched an operation to apprehend the perpetrators. Acting on precise intelligence and through intensive field operations, they tracked the kidnappers' movements. Videos show a group of armed men surround a vehicle, opening the doors of a car and driving off. So this is going to be a video of the kidnapping.
The real reason you're stiff after sitting.
You can live a very long time with
صحفية أمريكية من وسط بغداد
الآن
هذا الفيديو الذي تم تداوله
محمد جهاد
صحفية أمريكية
محمد
من
جهاد
وسط بغداد نتابع
تركة محمد جهاد. Wow, look at them. They don't really seem, I mean, I don't know. They don't seem like they're rushing to get into the car. They seem to be moving pretty slow. Like, honestly, this looks fake to me. Am I crazy? Or does this look like they were let into the car? Like she let them in the car? Yeah, Jim, aren't you glad you have ad blocker? Oh, yeah, I'm so glad I have ad blocker. It works great. In my opinion, Tucker and Meghan have lost their damn minds. Am I alone in that opinion? Tucker was always borderline, but Meghan seemed to know President Trump better than now she's currently receiving him. Yeah, it's crazy. And fucking Candace Owens is cuckoo, cuckoo, cuckoo. Yeah. You're not alone. They've gone absolutely nuts. Alex Jones, Theo, Rogan, all turncoats along with Tucker and Meghan. I mean, to me, it looks like they just got in the car and drove away. I did not see, why did she stop the car there to let them in? Like, what? Like, why would you pull the car up and stop to let them in? Why? And they just get in. I didn't see anybody get in the driver's seat. So to me, I don't know. Something seems fishy about this to me. Seems very fishy to me. Seems very fishy to me. Very fishy to me. A spokesperson for the Kataib Hezbollah militia, so the Hezbollah militia, said that in a post at the group's Telegram that Kittleson was being released on a condition she leave Iraq immediately. Don't cars have auto locks? I don't know. Chat ads suck. Is there ads in the chat? Is there ads in the fucking chat? I wrote off Fox long ago. Where in Baghdad is this? I don't know. I don't know. Last time I watched Fox, they called Arizona for Biden. I think Joe asked questions that need to be said. People have tried to explain insanity for so long they've lost their mind. Yes, chat ads. There's ads in the chat? They put ads in the fucking chat? What? How do they put ads in the chat? That's fucked. I don't get paid for ads in the chat. I have ads shut off. I see no chat ads ever. Haven't seen any ads. I don't see ads in the chat. It cracks me up when Jim does a globba thing. Yeah, I try. I'm not seeing any chat ads, but I pay to not have ads. Yep, they do. Well, then they should have to pay me. They should have to pay me if they're putting chats and ads. I don't have ads turned on. Ads are shut off. As soon as I start to stream, the first thing I do is go and shut ads off. I turn them on. I turn them on after the stream ends for people that watch later, just because that's the only way you're going to make money later. I see the pop-up ads. I don't see them on your channel. I see them on others. Okay. Maybe they're trying to make him look bad. I always liked him. They're pulling my leg. Okay, don't see chat ads. All right, I don't know. They're pulling my leg. Okay. All right. Kittleson's designated point of contact in the U.S. and a CNN national security analyst previously told CBS News that U.S. government had warned Kittleson about a specific threat against her by Katayaba Hezbollah, Durka Mohammed Jihad, an Iranian-backed paramilitary group that was allegedly looking to kidnap or kill female journalists. Kittleson was contacted multiple times with warnings and threats against her, including as recently as the night before she was abducted. See, this is all starting to smell really, really funky to me. Like, we kept telling her that they're looking to get her. Was she in contact with these people? Is this all just like a ploy? American journalist Shelley Kittleson was released after being abducted in Iraq. Maybe she was just so fucking annoying that she just kept annoying them, basically Karening them. And they just were like, fuck, we got to get rid of this lady. I mean, look at her. She looks like somebody that would really annoy you. Just saying. And this says, kidnapped American journalist, released, says Iran-backed Hezbollah.
Martha, good afternoon. I want to start with some breaking news. Just seconds ago, a U.S. official confirming to Fox News that American journalist Shelley Kittleson, who was kidnapped a week ago in Baghdad, Iraq, by an Iran-backed Iraqi Shia militia, has been released. There were U.S. efforts behind the scenes, I am told, to secure her release from likely Kataib Hezbollah, an Iranian group inside of Iraq. It comes amid this deadline, 5 hours away. President Trump says if Iran does not make a deal, there will be strikes against Iranian power plants and bridges. We know that as this is going, and you can see Shelley Kittleson there, that journalist who was kidnapped, we understand, by Kataib Hezbollah and held for about a week. This is a group that operates inside of Iraq, and it is a journalist who is well known across the region for reporting fairly on many different stories, especially in Baghdad, the Iraqi capital. Now, Martha, we're tracking here a lot of developments, and it comes again as that deadline is looming, and strikes overnight took place with American planes over Karg Island, this island off the coast of Iran. 90% of crude oil exports going through this island. And the strikes that took place, we understand, according to Fox's Jennifer Griffin, targeted a number of different positions, including bunkers, radar stations, and ammunition storage facilities. Landing docks, according to a senior U.S. official, were intentionally not targeted. Now, the IRGC has warned it will target U.S. interests across the region in response, and that U.S. allies will be deprived of gas in the Middle East for years. The president speaking yesterday from the James Brady briefing room about the situation.
We have a plan, because of the power of our military, where every bridge in Iran will be decimated by 12 o'clock tomorrow night, where every power plant in Iran will be out of business, burning, exploding, and never to be used again. I mean, complete demolition by 12 o'clock. And it'll happen over a period of 4 hours if we wanted to. We don't want that to happen.
Now, the president told me just over the week.
IRGC is the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps. Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps. We did not pay money for hostages. No. We didn't pay the money. It says Hezbollah offered us $10 million to take her back because she was so fucking annoying. I mean, think about that. They kidnapped a woman, and after a week, we're like, take her back. Either it's all bullshit, or she was really fucking annoying. Extremely annoying. Take my hostage, please. Yes, please take my hostage. Take her back. Yeah, she was released after fake news. Yes, also chats help push the channel out too. They are free. Yes, they are.
Weekend that the nuclear issue for the Iranians is off the table. They've already conceded this, and we do expect a number of different concessions from the Iranians if they are able to make a deal with the United States. But again, the clock is ticking, just 5 hours away from that deadline. Martha?
Indeed. Trey, thank you very much.
Yeah, no, what happened was she's one of those awfuls. Yeah. What happened was they said, listen, we're going to let you go. Just you have to get the fuck out of this country. We can't stand you here anymore. You can't stay here. You're just annoying. Joe does get a lot. Maybe you don't get the ads on live. I haven't seen any on the stream, but everyone else has ads during the live. It's really annoying. Well, I shut the ads off. Because, I don't really make money on it. I don't have the viewer. Like, here's the thing. It's the bottom line is people that have a bunch of, like a lot of people watching, have thousands of people watching, they're going to have ads because they make money. You get like, for every 1,000 views, you get like a couple bucks, like $3, $5, $7 for every 1,000 views. So people that get 50, 60, 70,000 views, they might make, a couple $100 on ads for a live stream. So they're going to have them on. I would make maybe $1 or $2. So to me, it's just annoying to have them on. Don Booth says, Bronca argued with me saying he had to put ad during live stream. Google rules. I said he was full of shit. He got pissed at me. They automatically, I'm going to tell you right now, when you start it up with StreamYard, they automatically put ads on your stream. Automatically. I have to go in once the stream starts and shut them off because I've tried to shut them off before the stream starts and then they turn them back on when they start the stream. So like I have to start the stream, go in and see it says live, it's on, and then I have to shut ads off and then they stay off for the whole stream. And then as soon as I stop the stream, the ads come back on again. You not know that. Yeah, Jim loves you so much. He shuts down the ads during the lives. Yes, I do. But if I leave his show, then that is sucky. Well, I mean, here's the thing too. If you subscribe, if a lot of people don't want to pay the money to Google to, like the ad-free money, I think it's $10 a month or something, but then any channel you watch has no ads. And then those people actually get the, it's called like Google Red premium service. They get a percent, like it's not the same amount of money they get for the ads, but I don't know. Me personally, I have no problem with doing it this way. And ads on reruns should be enough for the greedy tars. Google Premium is awesome. No ads. It's $14.99 a month now. I didn't realize it was that expensive. Fucking Netflix is raising the price again, another $4 a month. I just got that notification that now Netflix is going to be almost $30 a month, $28.99 a month for Netflix. I don't know if I can justify that anymore. You pay $13.99 for YouTube or for Netflix? Joe says, Jim, turn on the ads, make your money, brother. Honestly, it's not enough money for me to mess with. Personally, I don't think it is. I mean, the group kidnapping story was so important, they dedicated 2 sentences to it. They don't believe it either. That's what I'm thinking. I guess my kids are going to be pissed. I'll shut off Netflix. YouTube Premium, okay, $13.99. I think it depends on where you are and what you buy it through. Like maybe if you pay for YouTube Premium through an Apple phone app, they might charge you more because Apple takes a cut of that, and YouTube is not going to share with Apple. Not going to share with Apple. Yeah, so the release of Shelley Kittleson, 49, from Monticello, Wisconsin. She's from Monticello, Wisconsin, was seemingly confirmed in a post by Telegram by Abu Majid Asef, the security chief for Kataib Hezbollah. In the name of God, the highmost, in appreciation of the patriotic stances, the outgoing prime minister has decided to release the American defendant on the condition that she leaves the country immediately. To me, the video doesn't look like somebody getting kidnapped. It looks like somebody going for a ride. The initiative will not be repeated in the future, a state of war waged by the Zionist American enemy against Islam. Iran's supreme leader is unconscious and unable to make any involved in any decision making. Oh, we're going to read this story next. In a 2-minute video, Kittleson appeared to be reading from a script in a stilted voice as she hails her kidnappers. So, oh, look at her. So, oh yeah, look at her. She's so happy. She's so happy to be in the hijabi dob. Are they going to show the video of her talking? Okay, I don't know. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of things I want to say right now. 49, yikes, life's been rough on her. There's a lot of things. I don't know anything about this woman, but by seeing her and reading the things about her, there's many jokes I want to make. Is it too early for me to make jokes about this lady? Because there's a lot of jokes I want to make. Like, I wonder how... Never mind. I ain't going to do it. I'll wait until I get more information before I make jokes. Some great people water down our milk, make 3 gallons out of 1, and jack up the price 3 times. Yes. Too soon? Nope, not too early. Never too early, Jim. Nick would do it. I mean, how many abortions do we think this woman's had? Plus or minus 5. Right? Her body without the head looks nice. I mean, I don't know, man. 3? I'm saying multiple. I mean, she walks into a bar, they say, why the long face, right? Because only one guy went back twice. Butterface, yes, Nick would. Damn it, KPT3. I was honestly going to say, like, I mean, she does have nice green eyes, though. Just like if you could just, like, if she had just the veil on, if she was like the full hijabi thing, you would just see her green eyes. And then what was the guy's name? What was the guy's name from Big Trouble in Little China? You saw the guy that Daniel Lopan. Lopan would come to take her away for her green eyes. She would probably want to eat crackers in bed, probably. But she talks, and her comrades are trans women. Yes, she is. Camera up, chin down for that hijab selfie. Hide that neck. No other details have been released about the circumstances behind her capture or release. Her emergency contact, CNN National Security Advisor Alex Pitsisis, said that he had received no proof of Kittleson's release. I've only seen an alleged statement. The hostage recovery fusion cell is a lead entity. Kittleson, who's based in Rome, regularly flew from Italy to report on conflicts in Iraq, Syria, and Afghanistan despite threats to her life. Yeah, if she only had eyes, she would be a looker. You crack me up. Yeah, well, I doubt it. She'd be the sacrifice. Was Ivanka Trump putting on weight? That's not a very good picture of Ivanka. So women in Iraq don't wear hijabs, but this Western woman does. Okay. Jim Baker's current wife had several abortions. I didn't want to really bring that up, that thing, because it's a very, Kim Cattrall, she's hot, about 50 pounds over. I'm catty sometimes, but only towards Awfuls and Candace. Fucking Candace, man. Candace has really lost the plot. Candace has really lost the fucking plot. Although, maybe this was always her point. Infanticides, age 18, 2.5. It's better than a Mar-a-Lago face. Oof. Jim Baker is a card-carrying cuck, though. Bad mojo for journalists mocking Trump's daughter. Yeah, I mean, that's like, I don't get it. Pull her back up so we can make fun of her some more. Okay. I mean, for being so skinny, her arms look very flabby. And I don't know what it is about her face. It's just something like this, like, I don't know. This picture right here says, yeah, annoying. Look at, this chick's got a 5 head. I mean, look at that. That's not a 4, that's a 6 head. Trying to figure out what her grin means. Yeah, I don't know. It's called a 1,000-cock stare, Jim. Oh my God. Oh man. Oh man. It's like she isn't wearing any panties. Hillary Clinton face. I mean, just it's a 4-head. No, it's not. It's a 5-head. Looks like a vegan, but I mean, it looked like. You could see, like, they airbrushed the shit out of this picture, too, and you could still see, yeah, she exudes toxic feminism. You don't see too many people with green eyes in Iran. Oh, 2 girls with green eyes. Oh, definitely not a 5-head. Best chat, yeah. She looks like a nun. I have none. I'll have none. Candace was always a piece of shit. I feel those who fell for her boot BS, Genius Boy Shapiro included. I think her hairline was kidnapped first. Could be. They brushed. I'm saying they airbrushed this picture, but you could still see like all these wrinkles and like splotches on her skin and everything like that. Like, definitely not getting enough protein in her diet, if you get my drift. I mean, because CNN probably made it up but didn't get enough clicks. It's possible. It's possible. All right, let's get on to this next story. Iran Supreme Leader is unconscious and unable to be involved in any decision-making. You're a lesbian? Oh, namaste. Probably a shapeshifter. Could be. Could be. He's reported unconscious and unable to make decisions after being severely injured in a U.S.-Israeli airstrike that killed his father, Khamenei, according to intelligence memo. Oh, your dad was a lesbian trapped in a man's body. Jim, you are really picky. Steve, my friend, you need to get some standards, my friend. Just a little bit. A little bit. And also, I'm just making jokes. Just making jokes. Yes. I love the ladies in this chat. Most not offended. Bless you, ladies. Yes, definitely. I asked before I could make jokes. Everyone said yes. I mean, granted, my jokes aren't funny, so are they really jokes? If somebody tells a joke and nobody laughs, is it really a joke? The 56-year-old has not been seen publicly since the attack and is said to be receiving treatment in Guam, raising questions about the leadership. Terrorist killed. At least one terrorist killed and 2 others seriously injured in a 10-minute gun battle with police outside of an Israeli consulate in Istanbul. Oh, I didn't know about this story. There was an attack in Istanbul? Missing mother? A mother's missing? What's this? Wait a minute. Lynette Hooker, a woman mom. Oh my God. Did you see what it said though at the top? Hold on. This one, I'm gonna rewind it a second. It says right here, Instagram, the Sailing Hookers. Their name of their Instagram account is the Sailing Hookers. Like I like that. That's funny. That's funny. Their last name is Hookers, and they named their Instagram thing the Sailing Hookers. Like, and she's missing. Yeah, Hooker. Yeah, that's their last name. Like T.J. Hooker. That that kooky Khomeini family up to their old antics. They're the sandwich makers. Yes, the Zen of podcasting. Yes. My wife is laughing along. They could have said the same thing about Brandon. Women are Stargate's only way to Earth. I think the Supreme Leader is also gay and was not liked by his father. It's possible. It's possible. On the water, they would be wenches. Kim, kumquats are fruits. Yeah. I like especially when they're not talking. Okay. Natalie Woods. Oh, yeah, what's the only type of wood that doesn't float? Natalie Wood. Ba-dum-bum. So, missing mother. Lynette Hooker, a Michigan mom who documented her life at sea with her husband, vanished after falling overboard in the Bahamas while trying to return to their yacht. Wow. Is the husband going to be accused of throwing her overboard like Natalie Wood? That's their yacht. Authorities have a strong currents carried her away, prompting a search after her husband reported her missing hours later. That's not a yacht. That's not a yacht. That's a boat. Come on, people. That's not a yacht. I mean, to be legally considered a yacht, it has to be at least 33 feet long, right? Or 31. It has to. Yeah, that is not a yacht. No. I mean, are they calling it a yacht because there's a cabin for someone to sleep in? That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense to me. So missing Supreme Leader Mojtaba Khomeini is unconscious and unable to be involved in any decision-making, according to intelligence memo, weeks after he was severely injured in the strikes. The 56-year-old supposed leader, isn't that the boat that takes you to the yacht? 33 to 40 feet. If that's a yacht, then I used to own one and didn't know it. Was probably a stock photo. That's what she fell out of. It's a dinghy. My grandfather had a 41-footer. Yeah. Desert ironwood doesn't float. Okay. The implication, she was in the boat going to the yacht. Okay. 26 feet will take you around the world. Well, that 26-foot sailboat can take you around the world. A sailboat, can. But I mean, it's like a thing. It's just like the way it's the shape of the boat and how it is and stuff. I mean, it's not going to make it through like big storms. You got to really like know the weather and watch the weather and go around storms and stuff like that. Because he's currently undergoing medical treatment for severe condition in the holy city of Guam, roughly 87 miles outside of Tehran. Mojtaba Khomeini is currently being treated in Guam for a serious condition, unable to be involved in any decision-making. Until now, conflicting reports have emerged about the extent of his injuries ever since he was wounded during the outbreak of the war, with his absence only fueling speculation. Lots of 26-footers have soloed around the world. Yeah. Well, they can. 26 feet is a lot of shoes. Like I can't. You think a 26-footer could go through a hurricane or like a storm? I mean, I guess if you batten down, you know, like everything's battened down inside and you take the sails down and you're just basically floating and waiting for the storm to go by. But I mean, a sailboat's got a big keel, so it should be able to take it. But if you get like, there's 30-foot fucking swells on the ocean, man, that'll just eat that boat. It'll just flip it over. You'll be upside down. Some reports claimed he was suffering only a fractured foot and minor injuries. In a sailboat with a candlestick. Yeah. We use it for bearings in the ships. Can a DD go through a hurricane? Why are you talking about like a destroyer? A Navy destroyer? Yeah, just name your boat Jenny. I'll call my boat Jenny, and it can make it through the storms. Upside down can still float. Yes, it can. You're right. Upside down, it can still float. Supreme leader's in a coma, probably brain dead if alive at all. No photos, no videos, no proof of life. 26-foot submarine. Maybe. I know like big ships, like a destroyer's like a destroyer's like 150 feet, 145 feet long. You know, it's got like a 30-foot beam, 40-foot beam. I mean, that's pretty like. I don't know. I mean, I know there's reports of ships bigger than destroyers getting damaged in storms, taking on water. The retaliation we have in mind is not limited only to martyrdom of the great leader of the revolution. Rather, every member of the nation who was martyred by the enemy constitutes a separate case in the file of revenge. Says, I'm aware I've lived on one for a time. Okay. Do we still have destroyers? It's a tin can. It's like a weird thing. You know, Big E was like 1280. Yeah, why are we talking about a boat and a hurricane? I don't know. I don't know how it came up, honestly. A follow-up threat came in April because people are like a 26-foot boat can make it around the world. And I was like, well, yeah, but that's a little different. Like a sailboat as opposed to like that's like a motor yacht. That boat does not have a very deep draft that we saw. So it only had like it's like maybe a V or something like that. Deep V maybe. Like that would just get flipped over in a second in a big storm. Maybe they tie that boat to their yacht. Maybe. We have a lot of new destroyers. Are they really destroyers though? I mean, we don't have frigates. I know that. We don't really have any frigates anymore. My tender ship was 640 feet. Okay. Wow, I got some indigestion going on. Okay, now this story says it was a prisoner swap with that woman. So Iran-backed militia in Iraq has announced it released a journalist and a security officer recognition of the stance as outgoing prime minister. So they're saying it was a prisoner swap. Wow, this picture, they really airbrushed the shit out of this one. At the time of the abduction, the Iraqi authorities say they pursued the suspects, resulting in one of the kidnappers' vehicles overturning and one arrest. So this is saying it was a prisoner swap. So did she possibly fake getting kidnapped so that they could get one of their people back? I've been out at Sunset Beach bodyboarding with the swell was 14, 18 feet in 20 sets in Hawaii. They measured from the back of the wave, so faces were 40. It was crazy. George Thorogood and the Delaware Destroyers. He drinks alone when nobody else. They have missiles on the new destroyers. Yeah, they're like Aegis class destroyers, right? As opposed to the Aegis cruisers. We had 2 cranes on our tender. We picked a tin can up by its gun barrel, and the wrench trying to unlock the barrel had a wrench on backwards. Yeah. I sent you the picture. Okay. 1 bourbon, 1 scotch, 1 beer. Mm-hmm. See, he sent me the picture. Let's see what it is. He sent me the picture. Oh, so this is Brian's yacht, his grandfather's yacht. Which that I could call that. I would say that's a yacht. You know, that's a boat. No, that's a yacht. That's a motor yacht. It's got cabins. It's got a fly deck, a fly bridge up on top. It's got a tender on back. That's a yacht. That's a wooden yacht. That's a heavy boat right there. That's got nice teak and everything. That's a beautiful boat. That's a beautiful boat. Did I say that's a beautiful boat? That's a beautiful boat. Mm-hmm. That's a beautiful boat. All right, let's do this now. He sold it for an airplane. You're going to need a bigger boat. Yeah. 74-ish Arleigh Burke destroyers and a handful of experimental and next gens. George Thorogood was the worst band I ever saw live. Rock of Ages. What if they paid her to stage this? Well, that's what I was thinking. Like, if they're saying now that it was a prisoner exchange, maybe they wanted one of their people back and they used her to get them back. You know, like she did it with them, helped them to get their people back. Come running out, put my ship down and turn that wrench around. Yeah, you're going to need a bigger boat. He sold for an airplane, 1960s photo. Cabin cruiser. No, it was 76 maybe. She's your. Mm-hmm. A federal judge appointed by Obama makes removing a homeless encampment in Berkeley nearly impossible. And anywhere, really, almost impossible. Democrats destroy their own cities even through the judiciary. It's crazy, right? Crazy.
Been the center of a years-long. This encampment at 8th and Harrison in Berkeley has been the center of a years-long battle, the city trying repeatedly to clear it, including a clearing last June that unhoused
What is going on?
residents and advocates fought to stop. Now a new federal court
All right.
is putting limits on.
Okay, I don't know why this is going to keep doing this to me. Did they trade her for an arms dealer? I don't know. That's what Biden would have done. Best 2 days of a boat owner, the day they buy it and the day they sell it. Yes. Yeah, the spinning wheel of death. Have you watched the Philadelphia story? You know what BOAT stands for? Bust out another 1,000. That's what BOAT stands for, because everything is another $1,000. Oh, you need that? It's 1,000. You need this? It's 1,000. It's always crazy when they are crazy. Yes, it is. Traded her for a goat. I'd leave California so quick. Think of the smell.
On how Berkeley can clear the camps.
I think it really means a lot that the city doesn't get to take away our homes. I mean, I think right now they have just been seen as vehicles and tents, but to us, it is our livelihood. It's everything.
In the 70-plus page order, a federal judge ruled the city cannot take tents or vehicles used as shelter without justification and must provide accommodations for people with disabilities under federal law. The court stopped short of banning encampment clearings, but set strict rules the city must follow before removing people.
Instead of clearing encampments as a last resort, what they've done consistently and continue to do, but we think now we have a good chance of preventing the city from continuing to do it.
How the fuck, first of all, is there a California homeless union, like a commie union of fucking homeless people, and they have a general counsel? They have enough money to have a fucking lawyer to go to court. This is insane. Who's paying for this? George Soros?
Is they simply go to the last resort first.
This comes as the U.S. Supreme Court previously ruled cities can essentially ban public camping, even if those campers have nowhere else to go.
And I think that the city itself will say that the cost of doing business
to remove a homeless encampment is too high to make it effective, and we're just not going to be able to do it if we have to follow these types of stringent requirements.
But legal experts say the new requirements could make it nearly impossible for cities to
It's crazy, right?
encampments.
And the court at the higher...
This court is another tyrannical lower court inferior judge that doesn't know what the fuck they're doing and is not following the precedent from the fucking Supreme Court, which is their boss, that said, yeah, no, state, yeah, you can ban this and say you can't do this, and then you clear them out. Like, they are squatting in the fucking public. Like, goodbye, bye-bye.
Level may say we need to strike a balance. Yes, the unhoused have important rights. But at the same time, we can't hamstring cities.
Attorneys.
Like, what is going on?
The homeless union.
It's not my internet.
Past actions put people at.
It's not my internet.
Note, they're still moving forward with their civil rights case against the city. Tonight, advocates are petitioning the mayor to rescind the city's 2 appeals in their ongoing case.
Let's abandon this appeal. Let's instead focus on allocating resources such that we don't have to have people homeless in the city of Berkeley.
The homeless union says they still hope to come to an agreement with the city before their case heads to trial. In October, we reached out to the city for comment, but they did not respond. In Berkeley, Valina Jones, NBC Bay Area News.
This is crazy. This is crazy. Did I hear correctly? LA is giving wrenches to the homeless to access water from hydrants? Probably because they don't use the water to fight fires. They just let the fucking place burn down. Yeah, California spends $81,000 per homeless. Yeah, it's crazy. There's a union. What the fuck? Yeah, because they're paying. They're campers. Yeah, just proving to the people that we don't need a government that's done more harm than good. These people have been violating their oaths for decades. How are we even still here? It's nuts. Whatever happened to vagrancy laws, right? The URW, United Rarely Workers. Yeah, you ain't kidding. You ain't kidding. Yeah. I would think these encampments were health hazards. They are. There's all types of drugs and fucking. They're not following all these places, especially California, where they have all these weird laws about you can't burn this, you can't do this. That they're letting them do whatever they want. You know, it's crazy. We have a thing here in Utah called Wasatch Tenants Union. I wish I could show you their logo. It's the same fist as the Black Lives Matter. Wow. The homeless are living in the sewers in California. I know they live in a lot of the rain, like, because they have like these huge, like, when I was in California, when I was in I lived in San Jose for a while. They had these huge, like, the water overflows, or I can't remember what they're called. They're like a basin thing where they got these huge things where they're like culvert type of things, but they're all packed with like sandbags that are really hard and stuff, and like lining them so that if it rains in the mountains a lot and the water comes, it's like a runoff to make the water go so it doesn't flood. And no flash floods, but like I've only ever seen water in them once. Like, and it was like for 2 days there was water in it, and then that was it. Yeah, the Black Plague was rediscovered in Berkeley, if I recall correctly, in 2022, 2023. Yes, it's just one of the many bifurcated causes the communists take up to try and destroy the country. Anything that causes division, and they will use it as any victim class to do it. They will. Fresno took over a highway. Yes, they did. I'm in Utah. I don't know that's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. A bunch of Mormons running the place. Utah, I'm going to tell you right now, Light Warrior, Utah is falling. Utah is slowly becoming far left. It really is. I don't know if it's the Mormons doing it on purpose or what, but the governor is a wackadoo leftist. They appointed this Cassidy guy, wackadoo leftist. Salt Lake City is wild, man. It's wild. The homeless encampment in Santa Cruz is crazy. They're living in the river mouth and river. Same in Riverside and Orange County. Yeah, ignore the taxpayers for society's barnacles. That's the way it is, though. That's the way it is, though. Yeah, city of Berkeley is at the center of a growing legal fight over homelessness. Which is weird because Berkeley is like really far left, right? Like super far left. Utah, Daybell, Vallow, Richens, Robinson, not good. Not good. Yeah, it's not good. An encampment at 8th and Harrison Streets has been at the center of a years-long battle with the city repeatedly trying to clear it. This includes a planned clearing last June that the unhoused residents advocates fought to stop. Mormons are whack. A new federal court ruling is placing its limits on how Berkeley can clear the camps. I mean, I don't know. I think the Mormons are too nice. Like from every Mormon I've ever met was some of the most. They were super polite, super nice people. They did kind of start to try to tell you about the prophet, and I was like, hey, listen, I don't want to know about the golden plates, and I don't want to know about it. But Mormon women sued to be able to racially gerrymander. Yeah, they did. Well, crazy. It was a left-wing group. Yeah, Mormon swindler leaves something to be desired. We used to be a very nice state. A lot of commies and wackos have moved in. I mean, I'm going to tell you right now, California was a great place in the 80s and even the early 90s. It was awesome. It was awesome in the 80s. California was fucking awesome in the 80s. Donnie and Marie Osmond are Mormon. They did good things in their communities. Mormon men are born to be betas. Same with Colorado. I mean, I don't know what's going on. I'm just saying, I think Mormons are just too nice, maybe. And maybe they're just too nice. And they're letting people walk on them. I don't know. But they need to go back. I think the Mormons need to go back to what the Lion of the West. Wasn't that his name? The Lion of the West? Brigham Young. Take a page out of Brigham Young's book. A Mormon will let you punch them in the face, and they will tell you thanks. They need to go back to Brigham Young, I think. Just a little bit. Maybe people watch the series. Watch the series. Hell on Wheels. Damn it. Hell on Wheels. And man, whew, the Mormons in there didn't mess around. The Mormon church will give handouts to their members, never let them be homeless. However, the recipients have to work for their welfare. They're very ignorant and believe they're the only ones going to be saved. The Mormon Tabernacle Choir. I'm Old Testament by nature. There's a mandatory tithe to the church. In a 70-plus page order, the judge ruled the city cannot take tents or vehicles used as shelter without justification, must provide accommodations. Yes, very interesting. I really think it means a lot that the city can't just take away our homes, said the Berkeley Homeless Union president, Jessica Prado. I mean, I think right now, is there like a membership fee to be, is there like a membership fee to be a member of this union? Do they take dues? Well, only 144,000 will be saved. I don't like quotas. Brigham Young was a really brutal man. Hell on Wheels is a good show. Yes. So did my mom. He did a miniseries on Netflix called American Primeval, shows him well too. They believe the son and the father are two separate people. The court stopped short of banning encampment clearings, but set strict rules the city must follow. I think this is an overstep by the court. I do. Instead of clearing encampments as a last resort, what they've done consistently and continue to do is a good chance of preventing the city from continuing to do is they simply go out as a last resort first. This comes after the Supreme Court previously ruled that cities can essentially ban public camping even if those campers have nowhere else to go. I think that the city itself will say the cost of doing business to remove a homeless encampment is too high. That's what they're always trying to do. They're just trying to be like, don't paint all Mormons with the broad brush. The rank and file are good people, but they're slowly being co-opted by radical Marxists. But I'm not attacking Mormons at all. I'm saying they need to they need to protect their way of life. I mean, I've seen some stuff about Mormons basically helping Islam set up mosques and shit in Utah. Like, what are you doing? Those people want to cut your heads off. What are you doing? However, legal experts say new requirements could make it nearly impossible for cities to clear encampments. The court at many higher levels may say we need to strike a balance. Yes, the unhoused have important rights, but at the same time, you can't hamstring cities. Attorneys for the Berkeley Homeless Union argued that cities' past actions put people at risk. Let's abandon this appeal. Let's instead focus on allocating resources, such as you don't have people. I think the state of California has spent way too much money on homeless people already. It's just been a thing. We have a Mormon church around the corner, and they have missionaries coming to my door. I let them talk to me, and we compare and discuss while doing yard work. Then I feed them. Well, that's very nice of you, KPT. That's very nice. Yes. They like the home-cooked meals. The city didn't respond. Even in the Bible, when John went up and was struck dead, he seen a hand on the throne come out of the cloud holding a scroll with 7 seals. Just tell them that G is coming back and the streets will be cleared quick, fast, and in a hurry. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. I went to Kafka State. Okay, well, that's not nice. Kafka State, they never tell you the truth. They never tell you the truthuses. The truthuses in Kafka State. They never tell you the truthuses. Spuds, the party can start now. That's right. Party, party. Look at this. Then we got this. California Rep. Ro Khanna calls for Trump's removal via the 25th Amendment over Iran threats. I think this is sedition. This is a coup. Calling it a moral crime and a war crime, he called on Congress to invoke the 25th Amendment. Congress can't invoke the 25th Amendment. Doesn't work that way. The United States Congress has any left in it. Every congressman and senator will be calling for Trump's removal via the 25th Amendment. He pointed out what's described as Trump's total disregard for humanity and the people of Iran. It's not up to Congress to call for the 25th Amendment. Congress has to vote on it if the president says no. Like they need 2/3 of both the House and the Senate to say he's non compos mentis if he challenges it. And the only way to invoke it is you have to have like the vice president and all the cabinet say yes. And then it would go to Congress and they would need 2/3 in both houses. And then that would be an actual literal coup. Khanna specifically highlighted Trump's rhetoric regarding Iran. Yeah, whatever. According to Khanna, these actions constitute a moral and war crime. Hey, what's up? We got somebody in the Twitch over there. What's up, chat? Hey, what's going on, Fantasies X? How you doing? Yeah, no one comes through the Father except through me. Yes. I think they are concentrating on impeaching Hegseth for starters. Yeah, probably. Essentially a mutiny clause. More Khanna calling for the 25th must be a day that ends in Y. These people have no shame. They're so desperate. Yes. So did Alex Jones and Robert Barnes, both of them have lost their minds lately? Yeah, I know. I can tell you there's a lot of misinformation being spread in this chat about the Mormons. Tithing is not mandatory. No one will kick you out for not paying it. I'm not a Mormon. I don't know what it is. I know that there is like a tithe that they ask for. I don't know if it's mandatory or not. The Mormons are not trying to wipe anyone out that's not Mormon. Oh, I know. All I'm saying is the Mormons, it seems like maybe because they're so nice, they're such nice people. Like they're just so friendly and nice, always smiling, want to tell you, like they're basically like what was the Neighbors and the Simpsons, the families, Heidi ho, neighbor. Those are Mormons. They're harmless people, generally speaking. But they're basically like entered into like a suicidal thing that's happening that they're allowing to happen to Utah. In my opinion, that's my opinion. They're allowing the Muslims to move in and take over basically, and all these other people. They're funding mosques being built. What are you doing? Flanders, yeah. Flanders came to a bad end though. Flanders, yeah. Nice people getting walked on. That's the way I look at it. Yeah. Jehovah's Witness isn't friends. Yeah, sheep inviting the wolves in. Watch out for nice people. I don't know. Yeah. What's it say? The 25th Amendment to the United States Constitution provides the procedures for replacing the president or vice president in the event of death, resignation, removal from office, or incapacity. Well, he hasn't died. He hasn't been removed from office. He's not incapacitated. Khanna's calls for an invocation comes amid heightened tensions and threats. Like this whole thing is, hidey ho, neighbor. They're just as brainwashed as the rest of the libtards. They're just virtue signaling. Are you a politic streamer? I don't consider myself a politic streamer. I just cover the news. I mean, sometimes the news and politics are intertwined, but I just try to report the news. And I try to just give my take on what I think the truth is. That's it. Thanks for being here, though. Answer to Nora Naked when Jehovah's Witnesses knock early Saturday. They won't be back. I am not nice, I am kind, and sometimes you have to be cruel to be kind. Then the true Jesus has to come before everyone is deceived. Religion shouldn't be anything. Okay. All right. Okay, and then we got more. We got Illinois leaders blast Trump, float the 25th Amendment after Iran warning, pure evil. This is Fox 32 Chicago. I used to watch this all the time growing
Trump's
up.
threats to wipe out civilization has some of his domestic opponents calling for the 25th Amendment. Governor Pritzker is among them, but what exactly is that seldom used law, and would it apply in this case? Political reporter Paris Schutz is here to explain all of it.
Yeah, Dawn, as the day has worn on, we've seen more calls for the 25th Amendment, not just among Democrats, but some Republicans like former top ally, former Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Marjorie Trader Greene. Marjorie Trader Greene. Oh, go figure. The one who just happens to hang out with Code Pink, the fucking Marxist commies from the fucking CCP funded. It's very odd, isn't it?
They are calling for his removal. Now, that's after that post saying, quote, a whole civilization will die tonight, end quote, if Iran does not strike a deal to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. Pritzker responding, this is not foreign policy. It's a deranged madman threatening to wipe out an entire country. It's past time. The 25th Amendment must be invoked. So what exactly is that? It basically sets in stone the succession plan here. If the president is incapacitated or dies, then the vice president is sworn in as the commander-in-chief. Now, there are different sections of this amendment, and it is usually used when the president goes to the hospital for a routine surgery where they're under for anesthesia. He typically invokes the 25th Amendment himself until given the all clear. But it's increasingly been talked about as a way to potentially remove a president short of impeachment. The key part of the amendment is in Section 4. Quote, Congress may, by law, transmit within 4 days to the President pro tempore of the Senate and the Speaker of the House of Representatives their written declaration that the President is unable to discharge the powers and duties of his office. So it starts with the Cabinet and the Vice President. They come to consensus. They write a letter. They send it to the leaders in Congress, and then Congress has to take action. But UIC law professor Stephen Schwinn says it is very high bar to clear.
If President Trump's behavior simply, or the response to President Trump's behavior simply represents policy disagreements with the president, or maybe people don't like the way that he said certain things, for example, that wouldn't typically fall within a kind of Section 4 of the 25th Amendment remedy. But on the other hand, if what he's saying is viewed as a kind of representative of a mental state that means that he's unable to fulfill the responsibilities of the office, then sure, Section 4 could be a remedy.
Other Democrats have taken a different tack. Congresswoman Robin Kelly writing that Trump's threat to wipe out an entire civilization is pure evil, going on to basically call on Speaker Johnson to call Congress into session so they can vote to end the war.
Is this a real person? This looks like, look at this woman. This looks like a fucking CGI created person. It's like, what is this? Is this a black woman? Is this a white woman? What is this? This is like they took every race and thing and genderfied and put it together inside a person that they put on the screen. This is crazy. What is happening? Wow. I just want to point out, Electric Deb says, thank you for your hard work, Jim, representing Gen X. Power to the people. Thank you for the $5. That means right now we are only $82 away from adding a second hour to the show. Second extra hour to the show. And then I want to point out this guy over here says, I think it's cool to be informed of some kind of aspect like you. All I know, war bad, let's not war. Yes, I don't want war. But I also don't want to die in a nuclear holocaust because we let some psychos in Iran get a bomb and they just want to bring about the end of the world because they think that's what they need to do. The 25th can be removed by the cabinet. With the 25th, all it takes is a vote. Well, the 25th Amendment has to be enacted, I believe, by the cabinet has to say he's incapable. Either the president can do it or the cabinet, someone has to send a letter. But if the president says, no, I am fine, then they have to have like a vote of 2/3 of both the House and the Senate. A supermajority, 2/3 of the House and the Senate have to vote to say, no, he's incapacitated, to get him out. That's how that works. Religion is in all our battles. Well, I don't want religion to be in all this. So the president can be removed by the cabinet with the 25th Amendment. All it takes is, it takes the president. The president would have to go along with it, or that would be foolish. If Trump is still breathing, JD will get his advice. Is it Zionist? I don't know. This is some weird shit, though, this picture. Look at this. Holy fucking moly, my shit stinks, says Lull. That's a great name, by the way. We need to make him a member. She's old. She doesn't look that old to me either. That's what I'm saying. She doesn't look that old to me. She's got like grayish hair, and she only looks like she's 45, maybe. Senators and congressmen lie regularly on the floor of the Senate and the House because the rules say they cannot be held accountable. Yes, they do. Linda Schaefer, nowhere to be seen. Mormon, we do have a problem being too nice. We are too trusting, and we have forgotten the lesson of our pioneer ancestors. That's all I'm saying. Is I want the Mormons to bring back the fire and brimstone, man, to get back to protect themselves and their people. I mean, you can't tell me right now that these stories that we're seeing about all these illegal aliens committing these crimes in places like Salt Lake City, Salt Lake County, and they're just fucking letting them out, that there's not Mormons being abused by illegal aliens and by other people, and they're just, what are they doing? What are they doing? A lot of pictures of people are AI generated. Well, that's what I'm thinking. This is AI generated people. She's your sandwich baker, Jim. I don't know if I would trust this to make me a sandwich. They even added an old person with gray hair in the pot. Yes, they did. Candace is who she's always been, a leftist piece of shit. Barnes, Jones, and Tucker are turncoats for a cheap buck. It's obviously a white-black young lady with gray hair. Yes. Power to the moon and back. Yeah. She has gray hair and 25-year-old skin. Not real. 151 watching and only 89 likes. Come on, people. It's free. It's free. Hit the like button. Please hit the like button. Gen X rules. This is a psyop to have a talking point for the elections. Tough Trump does not help himself by saying he would destroy an entire population. I get it, but they use it as they don't understand him. He wasn't talking about killing everybody in Iran, because that would honestly, here's the thing. I'll tell you this right now. If Trump launched nuclear missiles at Iran and killed the entire country, he should be put in jail as a fucking maniac. Like, that would make me think, holy fuck, maybe he is the Antichrist. Maybe these crazy people are right. But that would be fucking insane to do. Just in, the vegetation on the far side of the moon is the same as the other sides. Globalists have infiltrated Utah. I see it. I do. Was it before? Did this start? Let me ask you this question. I don't know a lot about Utah. Did it start when the Olympics went to Utah, when all that stuff came and all these international people came to Utah? Is that when it started, or did it start before that? Because I have a theory about the Olympics and what happens when Olympics go places, what it does. Because, remember there was an Olympics in LA in the 80s, and then look what happened to LA. That's all I'm saying. I see 130. You see 130 likes? Is there really 130 likes? Or 130 people watching? I see 151 people watching, and I see 133 likes. Wow, that's what I see, 133 likes. Says, and this guy over on Twitch says, I wonder if moments of history like this, what goes through the president's head, how much are his thoughts versus what's being told to say? Well, I would honestly hope the president is not, people aren't telling the president what to say. People should be giving the president advice, and they should be being honest. That's why I do not think he should get rid of Tulsi Gabbard. I think Tulsi Gabbard is a good anti-war voice, is a good person in there giving him good information. And you need people to tell you what they believe to be the truth. You do. And you can't just have yes men. You have to have people that are going to push back on other people. Her hair is doing her no favors. I didn't refresh. Okay. Thank you. I meant whatever the mix of images they add together. They also include a person with gray hair. Probably. Mormons, look up the Mountain Meadow Massacre. What was that? I think we play religion too much. Yeah, it is. A lot of people play religion a lot. They didn't use the 25th on Brandon because then we would have to been stuck with cackling Kamala. Yes. They make things out here named after Zion, and it's the Beehive State. Okay. What's a sandwich baker? I don't know. Says, I'm the product of immigrants. Lol, I'm pretty chill. Well, good. America was founded on people coming here to make a better life and do things, which is great. But there has to be some order. We can't have everybody in the world just come here and people coming here and saying they're just coming to visit and then just deciding to stay and try to get a job. Well, they're breaking the law and they're not supposed to do that. They got to go back. People who overstay visas go back. And people that just try to sneak in instead of, we have like a whole system. And why is it not in America's best interest to only let the best people in the world come here, the smartest, the best, the brightest, to come here to make America a better place? Why would we want to take in people who are burdens on other countries to be burdens on our country? So that's the thing. Like, I support immigration, but not illegal immigration, not breaking the law, and not this crazy thing where it's been where just because one person comes in, then they can bring in all these other people with them. Like, that's nuts. Chain migration, that's dumb. Just because we let one brilliant guy come in, we shouldn't get 25 other people that are fucking paint chip eating tards. I don't know. Gen X rules but doesn't care that we rule. Yeah. If Trump turns out to be just fine, just a hyperbole machine, there can be a lot of treason to go around. There could be. Joseph Smith stole the Freemasons' practices and was assassinated for us. I'd probably lock him up myself if he did that, Jim. We have non-nuclear weapons with equivalent destruction yields. Yeah. Olympics are back in LA in 28. Wow. The Atlanta bomber. Remember the Atlanta bomber? That guy, what they did to him? Richard Jewell? Like, what they did to the guy who actually the guy who said, there's the bag, and tried to save people? Like, they went and tried to claim it was him and ruined his fucking life. That's the FBI, people. That's the FBI. I know what President Trump was trying to say. I just wish he would say it better. The Mormon and Islamists share a lot of tenets, sleeping with multiple underage kids. I don't know if that's true. I mean, I know years ago, there was that stuff going around with like multiple wives, and they had young wives and stuff, but I don't know. Now, there's a reason they run out of the Midwest and were driven into Utah. PayPal, not much, but something. Well, thank you, KPT. Thank you, KPT, for the $7. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, KPT. With that means we are now $75 away from adding a second additional hour to the show. And I know the goal has already expired on YouTube, but as long as I'm still going, if the money comes in, I'll extend. I don't think we're going to make it, but I'm going to go a little bit longer here. No reason to load the gun for your enemy. Just imagine yourself up in heaven before all this Earth stuff started, watching yourself here on Earth. Tulsi is the balance in the force. If he fires her for her opinion, we might have a problem. Oh, that's Rep. Robin Kelly, AI, Illinois. Okay. What's a sandwich maker? Better question. What is a woman? Hey, Spuds, what's up, buddy? Great to see you here. People came here to be Americans, not people wanting to be a community of people that just left. Yes, that's the thing. We were supposed to be this melting pot of creating Americans. And it seems like a lot of people are more interested, especially like, look at Ilhan Omar, that she says she's here to represent Somalia in the U.S. Congress. Like, that's not what was supposed to happen. Mm-hmm. We had the King's rally here in Ohio recently. I said, have Kamala or Tim. Then I thought, why stand down? Yeah. Robin Kelly is 69 years old. She doesn't look like that from the picture. What? Get out of here. I'm all for immigration starting again in 2046. But the MMM has to be considered in context, and context being said, it just came from the state of Illinois and Murray, where the mobs were burned down there. Yeah, there was some persecution of the Mormons. That's why they left. They should be removed and replaced by people that care about America. The fact that the government forms in any language but English is a huge problem. It is. Farms raping their women. The state of Missouri governor even issued an extermination order on the Mormons. They thought the people at the MMM were from Missouri and come to pursue and murder them. Okay. My grandparents didn't expect to get documents in German. They learned English. Let's get the Poland rules for immigration. Yeah.
Similar sentiments here from Democratic Senator Tammy Duckworth on Twitter, saying the same thing. Let's get back to Washington and vote in Congress to end the war.
Tammy Duckworth, people, she was a pilot. She flew a helicopter. She disobeyed orders and flew the helicopter where she wasn't and crashed the fucking helicopter. And that's why her legs are fucked up. because she didn't follow orders. But because she's, diversity person, they couldn't do anything about it. They basically had to just brush it under the rug. Oh, belly cam adjustment, please. No problem. So, I mean, she's like, the fact that she got elected because nobody could say, wait a minute, you fucked up. It's your fault. You fucked up. You didn't listen. You disobeyed orders and crashed your fucking helicopter. There were indications of it before the Olympics, but yes, that accelerated things for sure. Okay, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. Like, I have a theory that when the Olympics goes places, the people that it brings in, the money, there's a lot of there's a lot of outside forces and stuff and money that comes in and different things, and it really destroys the community. That's my opinion. I don't know. Am I religious? I believe in God. I am a whatever you want to call it. I was christened in a Catholic church. I was performed my communion and I was confirmed. But I don't really go with organized religion too much because when I grew up, the things that the Catholic Church did to people with the priests and the scandals, I kind of walked away from it all and was like, I really would want to see some major changes. There should have been some popes and priests and cardinals and bishops in prison, basically, I think. Blame Mittens Romney. International money laundering. Yeah. KBT says, I am a white woman with a career-ish, and we raised 3 great kids, and I've never had an abortion.
Or Congressman Mike Quigley in the last hour or so, also calling to invoke the 25th Amendment. As Professor Schwinn says, it has never been used in this way, where the cabinet would say this person is incapacitated, cannot carry out his job. It has only been used by Presidents Bush, President Biden, when they went in for a colonoscopy. Yeah. So they're under anesthesia. We can't discharge our duties for this half hour.
Yeah, but it seems
this is
so
very
many
different.
Steps would have to be taken.
So many steps.
The deadline's at 7 p.m. tonight.
So the cabinet and the Vice President Vance, which to this point have shown no sign that they are not completely aligned with President Trump. So they would have to take action, goes to the leaders in Congress, and then they would have to ultimately take action to have him removed, in which the Vice President would be sworn in.
All right. Thank you, Paris.
Yes, delete that, Brian. Delete that. I'm here. What did I miss? Well, just a show. Just a show. Did you see a video of some guy that went and crashed his car because his wife told him he needed to drive more like a woman? I'm a woman, by the way. I just thought it was funny. I didn't see the video. That would be funny. Yes, Bella is cuddling her stuffy. Yes, she is. Yes, she is. Yes, I'm a Christian. Yes. Well, I'm a Christian too. Like I said, I was raised Catholic. Come on. The stuff that the Catholic Church did in the 60s and 70s and the 80s, hiding priests doing these different things, and man. I mean, granted, the stuff that's happening today in the public schools is 10 times worse, but nobody wants to talk about it. That's what I would say to anybody. Do not put your kids in public schools anywhere, because This guy says, does the chat think Jesus would be allowed into the United States today if they didn't know he was Jesus Christ? Well, here's the thing. Jesus could just appear. He could just walk across the water and come right in. He could do whatever he wants. I mean, it depends. I mean, we don't do a good job of, here's the thing. We don't do a good job of protecting the persecuted Christians all over the world. There's Christians being persecuted in Africa like crazy, in the Middle East. And it seems like over the past 15 years or so, the United States just don't give a shit at all about persecuted Christians. At all. Until Trump, they weren't doing shit about all the people in South Africa getting slaughtered. Until Trump let him in, they were like, oh, no, that's not the right. You can't do anything about those people. I'm Catholic too. The last pope made me do not like the Argentinian at all. Yeah, well, the last two popes have been fucking commies, man. Communists. You know? I mean, oh, I got this one now. This crazy lady, Lofgren. This is another one calling for the 25th Amendment. These people don't even know. These people don't even know what the 25th Amendment is or something, I guess.
"5 hours away from..." Now to the war in Iran, where we are less than 5 hours away from President Donald Trump's deadline for an agreement with Iran. The president posting this morning saying, quote, "A whole civilization will die tonight, never to be brought back again. I don't want that to happen, but it probably will," end quote. Central Coast Congresswoman Zoe Lofgren calling for the president to be removed from power immediately in a post today saying, quote, "The 25th Amendment should be invoked to spare our country and the world from his increasingly unhinged behavior." She went on to say that the president is in cognitive decline and not fit to serve as president. Central Coast Congressman Jimmy Panetta denouncing the president's comments, saying, quote, "The president's threats to wipe out a whole civilization in Iran is not just dangerous, it reeks of desperation and depravity." Panetta went on to call for Speaker Mike Johnson to immediately call back Congress to session so they can debate a war powers resolution. And
wow, yeah, socialists are just communists that haven't solidified power yet. Yeah, that's all. That's all they are. That's all they are. Wow. Wow. Crazy. They have a countdown? Haha, lunatics, yes. Richard says, I was baptized Catholic when I was a baby. And then I was baptized in Baptist church when I was 7 or 8. I stopped going around 10. I practice on my own now. What's that? I mean, like, you know, I mean, the basic things follow the 10 Commandments, right? I mean, that's the basic things you should be doing. And then, you know, other stuff. Like the whole thing too, like, I don't know, like the whole thing about like during Lent, you're not supposed to eat meat, you know, which you should give something up, like, because all other religions do like fasting and stuff. The Jews, you know, like the Muslims, they do fasting and stuff. So the Christians don't really fast per se. They do like, you know, don't eat meat on, you know, during Lent or on Fridays, Good Friday, different stuff. But then I read all the stuff, which I don't know if it's true or not, but I read all the stuff that the reason that came into being was during the, like, you know, the Middle Ages type, the 600, 700, that certain people own fleets of fishing boats and they weren't selling enough fish. So that's why they had to do this thing to sell the fish. And I don't know. So I don't know if that's true or not. The other thing that has affected Utah is the ski resorts. I did a deep dive research on it, and the ski resorts attract leftists like moths to a flame. Chief Duckfat, what's up? This is the YouTube the ghetto speaks of. I'm going to take a look around for something to steal. Everybody nail shit down. That's right. Barry sent them pallets of cash. I guess that's okay. You can't challenge religion. Okay. Trump really pushed some buttons. Yeah. All of a sudden they believe the liar president. It's hilarious. The amount of fascist, ninny-hammered outrage and calls facetious. I think you spelled facetious wrong, but I think that's what you mean. And calls to 25th Amendment has not been seen since Covfefe tweet in 2017. It's hilarious. Why are communists allowed in the U.S.? They're technically not supposed to be. There is a law that's still good on the books that says you can't be a communist in the U.S. and communists cannot be in government. I'm not religious. I'm spiritual. I believe God is with me, not in a book or building, nor another man who claims authority over me. That's what the Bible says. Eclectic Deb for $1.99 says that Jesus would have obeyed the laws of the land. Jesus did say, render unto Caesar, you know, what's owed to Caesar, you know, honor the laws of Caesar, which means follow the laws of the land and then follow the laws of God. Render unto God what is God's, and render unto Caesar what is Caesar's. I mean, no meat on Fridays. Yeah, but I mean, they wanted to eat fish, right? I don't know. Both parties knew James Comey was a communist. Well, Brennan's a communist. I'm not sure about Comey. Is he a communist too? Thank you for the $2. That means we are now 73 away from adding an extra hour to the show. Thank you so much. The meat thing is to give up something. The Bible talks about gathering in a church. Okay. All right. Bernie Sanders. Okay. Give on to Caesar which that is his. Yeah, something like that. I don't know. I'm not like a expert on the Bible or anything. Didn't Vietnam just appoint a communist? Well, Vietnam is technically a communist country. Saying Jesus would wait 20 years for citizenship is a wild take. No. I'm not saying Jesus would wait 20 years for citizenship. I'm saying Jesus would get in. Come on. Jesus would get in. I mean, if you read all the stuff about Jesus, it said when everybody saw him. So as soon as he had his interview, the people that interviewed him would be just taken aback and be like, oh my God, this guy's to come in. It's Jesus. I don't know. Too many commies to count. He admitted it in an interview with a magazine. Oh my God. Oh, it's so close. Fatuous. Is it fatuous? Means lacking intelligence. Okay. Brennan is a communist and supposedly a Muslim. Yes, he did convert to Islam. Commute together. It doesn't have to be in a building. Yeah. Don't know if Comey is a commie. Don't know if Commie's a Comey. Comey's a communist, but he is a piece of shit. Effing autocorrect commune together. Yeah. Jesus is just all right with me. Jesus is just all right. Oh, yeah. Jesus is just all right. Uh-huh. What's it say? And Christianity, Judaism, Islam, and MAGA. Well, that's a fucked up picture you got there. That's a shrunken head that's all weird. And, wow. That's a pretty hot take. So Congresswoman Zoe Lofgren went a step further, calling for the 25th Amendment to be invoked. Comey told New York Magazine in an article published in October 2003 that he had been a communist in his youth. Threatening to murder tens of millions of innocent people. Trump's cognitive decline. You know, everyone in the fucking world saw Biden in his cognitive decline. And none of these people said a fucking word. So that's just going to be on them. I mean, pretty much Trump could be drooling and licking glass and they don't have a leg to stand on. Whenever two or more gather, I am in their midst. The faithful together are the body of Christ. The only unprotected class, Christian white men. Critter Sitter's here. What's up? Please, thanks, and have a great night. So glad to be here. Get back to work, so I will be lurking. Thank you, Critter Sitter. D. Humboldt, what's up? Yes, that's dance, dance, dance. What would you do for a Klondike bar? In hour one, Chris plays 2019 audio of late Rush Limbaugh reading from a 2003 article where James Comey revealed that before Reagan came along, he was a communist. Wow. Yeah, Jimmy Panetta said that he wants a panini. They're calling on Mike Johnson to do something. I haven't had one in years. All right, everybody. Let me see. Oh, we're down to DoCon 4. We're down to DoCon 4, so looks like everything has cleared up. Not gonna look. It's been a great night. Jesus posed this question: whose name and likeness is upon your denarii? Caesar's. So then you will render unto Caesar that which is Caesar. Okay. Well, to be fair, Thomas Sowell was a communist until he got a job with government. Jim, are you calling it? I think I am. I think I'm calling it. I'm just seeing who's live if to raid someone. MG Law. Pat Dixon, Katie Did. Let me see how long he's been going. You guys want to go watch some stuff with MG Law? You guys want to watch somebody sing and dance? What do you want to do? What you want to do? For a Klondike bar. I think that's it. We got two choices. We can send you to Pat Dixon or MG Law. Anyone have any ideas where they want to go? Pat Dixon or MG Law? Oh, wait. Looks like we got another $5 from Eclectic Dead. Thank you so much, Eclectic Dead. That means that puts us to $68. MG Law. All right. MG Law. Okay. Probably MG Law. Okay. I guess MG Law it is. All right, we'll go to MG Law. That's what we'll do. I'll look on Rumble to see if anybody is live on Rumble. And I want to thank everybody who's here once again. There will be a show tomorrow, hopefully, maybe early. If we'll see if maybe I was going to go early today, but Rob started early. Rob Gavea started early, so there was no way I could start by 6 o'clock when he was going to end. So I just canceled it, made it later. So tomorrow, today, Wednesday, I'm going to try to go early again, if possible. Maybe get a raid from Rob, so I might go at 7 tomorrow or 9, depending on how everything goes. But thank you for everybody who's been here. Please remember to hit the like button if you haven't already. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And come on back tomorrow for Jim to tell you the news.